viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, 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 bitch, nigga, bang, 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 bang.
So for the generation that is born right after the crisis, we call them the prophet archetype, and that would be, for instance, boomers, but we've had many other examples. Indulgently raised in a very secure era, they come of age during these times of spiritual awakening, a lot of protests, a lot of social divisions, and they break through. They try to, they want to individualize the country. They want to free individuals from the sort of tyranny of the collective. Give a fuck.
Like Tupac, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Everybody wanna ride on it with no car. Make a lot of money, live life like the stars do. If you do what they do, then what kind of king are you? Don't let money change you for the bad. Do what God's do. Everybody say they want power, but they don't really want power. They let the money hold the fame, make them a dummy. Money never made me, bitch, I'm making the money. I keep a smile every day, whether rain or sunny. A main bitch a day, wanna she kept it 100. A young 5'6" addict who love to get blunted. Off in the bed, I'm the dog, that's right, I'm atomic. Bury the bone in the cat, get back to the money. All the jealousy and lying niggas throwing at each other over crumbs on the cool, it's hard to consider. Some of you niggas to be real, cause you're real bitch made. These days and a whole be harder than niggas. But I don't give a fuck, never have, never will. Real niggas really scared to tell it like it is. So many heartbreaks, hella blood, sweat and tears over game. Now this is how I feel, tell them I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like Tupac, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Niggas hating on the low, I don't give a fuck. I'ma get more money, more, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like Too Short, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You can fuck my bitch, I don't give a fuck. I can get another one, I'm rich and I don't give a fuck. Tell them I don't give a fuck. Beat it with the microphone, I'm a flame spitter. Was a peacemaker, now a menace like the cane, nigga. Haters and you homo thugs, fucking up the game, nigga. We were never in the same class, you a lame, nigga. I don't got time to be dissing a nigga who ain't worth a penny, cause mentally I'm too above for dissing the fake. On top of that, I'm a player, the player hating has never been in my blood, nigga. That's ammunition for hate. If I call up the cavalry, it'll be a fatality. One phone call, they'll be minutes away. Better make peace with your creator, cause on the cool, I don't think you wanna perish a cent of the day. Money on the mind, vision on the prize. Look into my eyes, you will see the devil is a lie. Real warriors of God live eternally, and if you know the definition, baby, I will never die. Finally got the key of life. If you listen to my new shit, I got the blueprint to set the street afire. The majority of niggas in the game ain't fucking with the method of business that we apply. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like Tupac, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Niggas hating on the low, I don't give a fuck. I'ma get more money, more, I don't give a fuck. haters and you homo thugs fucking up the game, nigga. You a lame nigga. Give a fuck, 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 give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, give a fuck, give a fuck. You can fuck my bitch, I don't give a fuck. I can get another one, I'm rich and I don't give a fuck. Tell them I don't give a fuck, give a fuck.
Red alert. All hands stand to battle stations.
Warning. Warning. Nigga babble detected. System overload. Warning. Warning. Nigga babble detected. System overload.
Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Enemies gon' hate me now, hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now, hate me now. Enemies, busters got some mana, but I handle that, so hate me now. Got the Louis Slugger, you better cover when I hit a foul. You better be so quick to get it here when the pistol show. All my niggas get me creeping slow, and we on that blow. That I use, searching for an easy man. Demon in me wakes, now I shake and don't feel okay. Yeah, I'm terrified in my mind, so corrupted too. Feel so blizzo, hizzo, off that snizzo, but still keep it smooth. Evil prim, stay so blitz, busy down with Psycho Mike. Scheming, leaning all throughout the night, down in Metro Heights. Bitch, you getting sprayed from grenade when I put up here. Here's the P, here with me, and we always going in. Shaking in my bed, hating leaves you where y'all dead. Don't you rest so tears up, call your blizz up when I'm on my man. I face so much crime, stay inside. I have on my mind. Please don't shoot your kids on, send you his on, get your miss on ride. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Violent face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Enemies so close to me, especially gon' hate me now. Motivated jealousy, but still I elevate somehow. Violent face all in my space, deep inside you hating me. Take that loaded Glock 19 and kill that kind with courtesy. Hate me now, enemies gon' hate me now. Hate me now, enemies.
You hate me now, nigga, damn, I thought we was cool. You hate me now, I thought we was cool.
You mad at me now, but all I do is laughing. Then chop a bullet, split him up like he a fraction. He ran up on me, think it's chicken, now he past tense. Yes, I am evil, Chris, but also Trey, so blast him. I catch him loafing, I'ma up the gun and let it bust. I got them niggas in the car ready to shoot shit up. You mention me, boy, I'ma kill him, best not test your luck. Yo, bitch, a groupie, all up in my DMs tryna fuck. These niggas lying in they songs, you know they capping. I'm on the block, I put in work, you niggas slacking. My nigga get jammed up and then we go and post bail. But if your nigga run up, we gon' send his ass to hell. Ain't have a ruler, kept a Ruger when I was in school. I'm hitting ops with this stick like I'm playing pool. Handy manny in this bitch, we got all the tools. You hate me now, damn nigga, I thought we was cool.
You got the light.
You talking choppers, you getting right. You on the block with the dope every night.
Said he wanted some scratch, so we took him on life.
Say you wanna get paid, you wanna be right.
He team 4K got slapped
Walking
with
down,
pipe.
still got on these shades, even though it ain't night. Cause they little pink pills too hard. Let's go on a SRT with a drink cold tight. Got a little boy way, can't sleep at night.
You gotta go get your motherfucking dope. You gotta run, say
fuck all that hoe. I was just broken, I didn't have a friend, so I went in the trap and I sold me some dope. For real. Poppin' purse, make her suck dick for an hour, get to work. I told the bitch to get nasty for double. She bought her best friend, they for each other. Okay, for me, make her fuck my brother. Got a team full of players, free band, no struggle. Big 4K down to the door. Might get in there, mo, go dig with shovel. Break out the chopstick, hit on wherever. Broad daylight, bitch, I'ma get on wherever. Let's go, double O walk on this bitch, but I like to talk on this bitch. Hold on. Perkins said walk on this bitch, then Perkins said talk on this bitch. Hold on. I just be geeking out drugs, taking all kinds of shit. Bitch on the full shit, fine. He see all kind of bitch. Running through this, I don't care about shit. I can work one time, though. Rich little man got shot, you slide, little boy, you a bitch. 15 ball, one play on me. 15
Yo, peace, what's going on? What's happening? Somebody let me know. Oh, I see it. Never mind. I see it jumping up. Peace, what's going on? What's happening, y'all? MD's Thought Box Live tonight. No TFP episode. Probably not gonna be a TFP episode for a couple of weeks. Like I said, my laptop down right now. I got a power issue that I'm dealing with in terms of like I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why these chargers keep blowing a fuse in the I don't know. But I'll figure it out. I just ain't messed with it really done since then. And that was the beginning of the week. But I'll figure out what's going on with it. I mean, it can't be nothing too serious. Like as far as like my truck goes. So like I said, I'll figure it out. We'll work on it. But for right now, man, we'll do Thought Box Live. I'm on the phone and we just chilling. I think I talked to Ricardo. Ricardo try to be in the building here in a few. I'm assuming. I don't know. Fat Cat, like I said, the meme god, he only pop up when it's time to meme. He probably don't even know what time to because originally, yeah, okay, there go Ricardo. Originally, I do it at 8:30, so I'm assuming that Fat Cat got a hot pocket or something he's trying to chow down on. He probably don't even know I'm live right now, but he'll figure it out. Oh, the link. Damn, you right, Ricardo. Hold on. Damn, I forgot to put the damn link in the group chat. You right. That's my fault. That's my fault. Let me put it I just put it in YouTube. Fuck it. Hold on. I just put it in YouTube. Yeah, I fluked, Ricardo. That's on me. That's my bad. I'm putting it in the YouTube. I ain't even think about that. I ain't even think about that shit. But yeah, Vancat will probably be with us here shortly. Once he finishes Hot Pocket and notice that we live, because around 8:30 is around the time for him to prophesy to us via meme. So once he figure that shit out, he can be like, oh shit. But it's all good. Kind of impromptu, I guess. Not really, but because we're supposed to be scheduled with a show anyway. But yeah, that's what's going on. Ricardo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
I can't call it. I can't call it, man. Hey, trying to get you to join the Democratic Party. That's what I'm doing tonight.
You can have them. I do not want no parts. I mean, I have my. We're getting to the gist of it with the show, but I have my reservations with the Democratic Party. I'll always have one. I can't throw all my marbles with them, because half of me is conservative and half of me is Democratic. But will I be all in with them? No. I'm more in the middle, and you have to appease me by finding ways to get me to vote, which I'll always try to align myself more with the Democratic leaning I have. But I can't for the life of me. I'm more for non-party affiliated, and I'm more for independent type of order. But do I lean more Democratic? Absolutely. Am I partly conservative? Absolutely. But it's one of those things where I can never throw myself all the way in with them. And there's a lot of reservations there, and we'll get into the show with the gist of it when we get into the show. For the viewers out there that don't know.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, I say it in a funny way. just to keep
No,
it
we
real.
know. I know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Just to keep it real, I'm not affiliated no way, shape, or form with like the Democratic Party, nor do I like plan on being anytime soon. So, and this is what this show is going to be about tonight, right? So basically, what I'm saying, hey, look, I'm prioritizing the Democratic Party for a specific reason, very strategic, and I explained all this a couple of days ago in the video that I made proclaiming myself as a Democrat. Listen, we as of right now, and I'm talking about just regular people, you can have conservative views. I'm pretty sure, you know, in a lot of ways, I got a lot of conservative views. You know what I mean? Now, not conservative in a social sense, you know, of course, but conservative in other ways. I used to be a libertarian, and again, even with libertarians, I never was affiliated or went out of my way to profess to everybody about libertarian policy. I don't do no shit like that. But I identified with it based on their platform. Now, again, I've matured in such a way that I don't believe that shit no more. You know, especially when it comes to like fiscal conservatism. I'm not a fiscal conservative. Like, you know, the works of MMT and Stephanie Kelly, I think all that shit is fake. Like, I don't even think money real at this point. So, like, as far as being fiscal conservative, no, I'm not. So therefore, I wouldn't lean toward that way, even though I still got a lot of socially libertarian views, of course. But are they proficient in what I believe wholeheartedly, more broadly speaking? No. When it comes to the Democratic Party, I'm looking at it in this way. Republicans are gone. It's a wrap. They're in the sunken place. It's done. At least for now. Maybe someday that'll change. But for right now, it's a wrap. The only institution left that's viable is the Democratic Party. What I'm saying is regular people, like me and you, Ricardo, regular people are now in a crazy situation where now we about to get ready to catch hell, not only from the right, but also flanked to our left. That's just a fact. I don't care how anybody feel about it. I'm gonna play a assortment of videos tonight, and you know they speak for themselves. Again, you can have your opinion, whatever the situation may be. This is not anything to do with policy. I don't want to get it misconstrued. Now, the meme god is in the building.
Yes, he is.
The meme god may try to gaslight and say, my economic policies is all I care about. Understandable. We can always have conversations about policy. 100%. What you cannot have conversations on is restructuring the institution that is America. That's some bullshit. That's some straight bullshit. I don't care how nobody feel about it. And again, like I'm not saying that Venkat feel that way. I'm not saying that.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute now, MD. Now, are you saying there's no rumor, no love in your heart for the lefty loonies? We want to accept everybody, okay? We want to. It's like the Tea Party of past many millenniums.
Right. It's the Big Tent. But hey, I ain't got no room for pitching my tent with the likes of them people. That's just what the fuck it is. And again, I gotta reiterate it because a lot of people try to misconstrue, try to gaslight, try to outmaneuver their way out of an argument that you never made. Again, I want to reiterate it. I'm not talking about kitchen table policy. Not talking.
No, we're not.
Not talking about that whatsoever.
No, we ain't.
We can all. As a matter of fact, I've given in, so to speak, over the course of some years now, and y'all can be testament to this. Black Sun, everybody that I talk to online about political shit can verify I've relented, so to speak, when it comes to a lot of progressive shit. I just have. It is what it is because I understand that, hey, look, what is progressivism at the end of the day? All it means to be a progressive is, hey, look, we understand that society has to move forward, and it's got to be nudged some type of way via government. At this point, I can't even argue with you no more. If the people so make it so. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So even when it comes to progressive policy, I don't even argue with people about this shit no more. Even though I have a libertarian mindset when it comes to certain policy. But at the end of the day, we participate in a process of democracy. Cool. Abolishing prisons and the border and all that shit. No, I can't rock with you on that one, sir.
And the Constitution. Don't forget the Constitution too.
The Constitution don't rock with it either. That's the whole thing. But mean God, Vatcat, what's up, man?
What's going on, MD? Ricardo?
All hail the mean God.
There you go. There you go. Hey, I just want to welcome you. You know, have a great coming out party. Seen the light. Got the Lord in your soul now. Now
I don't get no introductory basket or no shit like that.
Nah, man. But it's a long time coming. It's a long time coming. And I felt like your hands were forced because of the Trump administration, the way the Republican Party is running as a whole. It's a logical decision, and I understand it.
Well, let me give a little pushback on that.
Okay.
I agree my hand was forced in a way, but my hand was forced via the Republican Party not having a backbone. Again, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If in a perfect world with Trump still here, by all means, I would probably be a never Trump Republican. I'm just be honest. That's what I would probably go with. Because again, that don't mean that I ideally 100% rock with Republicans. I don't. But for what I attest to be, that would be the most comparable. I'm gonna just be honest. I voted Republican all the way up from when I could start voting up to 2022. That's just a fact. I was a Ron Paul, libertarian-minded, fiscally conservative Republican. That's what I was. Trump came along. I said, well, you know, he talking some cash shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lot of racists and Jews will not replace us and all that type of shit, but I could deal with that. And this goes into my story on what I'm fighting now. I can deal with Charlottesville. Yeah, you know, it wasn't really a lot of niggas around for Charlottesville. That's how I was thinking. Like I could just wave off a lot of the racism and bigotry and outright overt corruption. I was like, you know, everybody do that every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
But you see, you're saying something very interesting. You're saying how you're illustrating the mindset of the training wheels when it comes to Republicans, specifically Donald Trump. But the Republicans get graded on a curve at all times. The Democrats, it's always a different story. We got to be perfect all the way up and down. And that's why I keep saying the two parties are not the same. They're not even close.
I agree.
And a lot of people conflate a lot of bull crap. And it's funny, like Republican Party is a party of you can pick up your bootstraps, thump your chest, and do your work and work hard and all this other crap. But they're the ones that are looking for free crap. That those tax cuts ain't bootstrap season. That's a handout in a lot of ways. But it's always from the lens macho tough guy stuff. And then the Democrats are always put in a position where they have to defend themselves on any little
save a hose.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly. And it's frustrating as hell. Because the Democrats get picked on. The Democrats get called all these things weak. But if you really honestly look at the last 10 years, the party that's been the weakest has been the Republican Party. Why? Because of how they have allowed Donald Trump to run and operate. The same way Mitch McConnell was able to maneuver and put in check some of the Obama policies and whatnot, he could have done that with Trump as well. It didn't happen. There's no backbone on none of that. But we always hear the Democrats have no backbone. The Democrats are weak. The Democrats are soft. Meanwhile, we're in real time watching the Republican Party melt. And they're also going to hurt.
It's over. It's done.
Well, there you go. There you go. You go. So, I don't know. It's just problematic.
That's why I became a Democrat. That's the whole point. Because it's the last of a dying breed. Go ahead, Ricardo.
But I'm going to say something, though. The reason why people are so hard on the Democratic Party, and I'm going to say, i.e., the black squads, mostly like the people that are in the ingrown inner cities and whatnot. The reason why they're so hard on Democrats sometimes is because that's all they really know. And in hindsight, when the Democrats give you or sell you a dream of, oh, we're going to do this, and it doesn't materialize, then it's more like, okay, then what the hell were y'all doing? Kind of like when they sold them a dream when Obama was coming in. The first thing I said, I never forget this, when he got elected, I said, watch them all turn on Obama when they don't get their way, because the first thing we're always so used to is, oh, he told us he was going to do this, and he never did it. Mind you, again, Vanka will say, and I do agree with you, is that Obama came in with a lot on his plate, and he was able to accomplish a lot of things, where he saved the auto industry in the U.S. He did save a lot of financial institutions. He did a whole bunch of stuff. Will they remember that? No, they're going to remember, oh, he didn't do certain things. He wore the tan suit. He did this. He bowed to the Japanese emperor and empress. There's a lot of nonsensical nonsense that, are beholden to the community, where we're like, okay, well, you should have done more for our community, but you didn't. But then did he really not do a lot for the community? It's kind of like a double entendre in a sense. But that's the reason why, Venkat, there's a lot that the Democrats tend to do. They overcompensate and what's the word I'm looking for here? They tend to overdo it, where they're like, oh, we're going to promise you this. We're going to sell you the dream. And then you'd have to wait. Like, let me give you an example. Remember when Biden came in, he was like, oh, I'm going to get rid of student loans, and it's going to be this, and you got to vote for me because student loans is going to be gone. And we literally sat there, and it was like, okay, so why you had the opportunity to do it, why did you not get rid of it? You literally came in, you then, and don't get me wrong, there's pushback from the Republican side and everybody in the Senate and whatnot, but you had ample opportunities, just like you were able to put in the affordable health care bill. You could have done the same thing with student loans, but you didn't do that. So then now everybody turns, and then they're like, okay, well, you did this and you didn't do that. So it's a lot where they tend to oversell it, and then in turn, then they go, oh, we'll do it next time. You're not going to have the opportunity next time, because then we know what's the next opportunity that's going to come in. And that's with the Project 2025, but we're seeing materializing now, where they got rid of, the Department of Education. They got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. You Democrats, that in terms of them, I'm not talking about you, Venkat, but I'm talking about as a whole, the party. When you guys have the fat cats with the money and all of that,
doing ain't in Congress.
Listen,
you can't do shit about it.
But you know who I mean? The people with the money that are spending, like. And we're at some point in time we're gonna have to touch on that bill that they try to they passed today with the whatnot. But when you have the fat cats dictating, doing all that stuff, and they're not looking at the prioritizing of like what it is that you're selling, like when you could have passed like getting the what you call it, the student loans and all that taken care of. You had an appetite, mind you, Uncle Joe. Yes, you could have passed that bill. You could have done that that would have been a progressive move, because then you'd have had the Bernie and the what's her name? That's
but Joe Biden's not a progressive though. That's the problem.
He's not.
He's definitely not.
Remember,
it's not even close.
Wait.
Yeah, finish up, Ricardo, because I gotta push back on that. Finish up.
No, I know, but that was the only way he could have gotten the what's her name? Is it Ortiz, whatever her name is, that was always like fighting with Bernie as well. When you're trying to get the progressive side of the party to come in, you promised them things that you knew that you couldn't have materialized, and then have in turn get them upset. So the new class, the old school, were clashing a lot. Remember when we had Pelosi, and then the new school come in and they were like, okay, well, we're not going to do this because so and so. And then Pelosi was like, you need to fall in line because this is how the Democratic Party has always been. You can't just come in brand new school and tell us what to do. That you got to fall in line. It's kind of like that. That's the issue I have with the Democratic Party. They don't know where it is to sell the dream and where to like be realistic with the dream. That's the problem that I have. And that's the issue you're going to face with the progressives on one side for the Democratic Party. And then you have the old school, I guess you will call them the Dixiecrats. I don't even know if you want to call them that anymore. The ones that are like the Collins that are like so old school that, realize now is the time to get out because now they're going to force you out or you're just going to fail miserably in the polls when the time comes to vote. That's where the issue is. And that's where when Venkat mentioned, they always come after the Democrats. It's not that they come after, it's just the dream that the Democratic Party sells and never materialize it in a way where they're like, okay, we can accomplish it. It's do it next time. When is the next time?
What is materialized from the Republican side, though? Because the only thing they've passed has been taken away. I'm just saying they've been taking away stuff. They took away a lot of rights.
I don't think nobody disagreeing with that, Venkat. But here's why I got to push back on what Ricardo just said. Well, let me start out with the whole progressive spiel first. Again, I have no issue with wanting to push progressive policy. The problem, what you're going to always face, and this is why I don't call myself a progressive Democrat. I would never call myself a progressive Democrat because in reality, all you're doing is saying that I go for social programs, but how are you going to implement that in a legislative way? There's really no such thing as being a progressive Democrat. You can have a progressive platform, that's fine. The only way that you're going to be able to do it is one or two ways, legislatively or by force, like Trump. Essentially, if we look at what Trump has done, good, bad, or indifferent, I don't care what your thoughts is on it. By definition, it's being progressive. And I can prove that. I can prove it. Here's the problem. A lot of people, the listen to what I'm saying, Venkat. The reason why you got grievance with the Democrats like that, Ricardo, is because, and I just got to be honest, you're upset because Democrats try to do it the right way. If it weren't for just a small little bit of pushback that they got from Senate moderate Democrats like Sinema and aptly named Joe Manchin, aptly named Joe Manchin and Sinema. If it wasn't for the parliamentarian that was telling him the rules of how this shit works, and you gotta follow them, shit that Trump don't do, you know what I mean? It's because liberalism dictates shit get done by the book. That don't mean that you don't progress it, you don't push it progressively. Again, all progressivism means by definition is the advocacy of social programs. Now, those social programs can be good, bad, or indifferent. Trump done pushed a lot of social shit that's very bad. By definition, it's still progressivism. Now, again, a lot of shit get lost in translation over the course of like decades. I understand that. By definition, progressivism is social programs being pushed. Once again, good, bad, or indifferent. So you got to ask yourself, when it comes to how the legislature works, is this shit possible? If not, what am I willing to do to push it? And that's what this whole conversation is going to be about tonight, folks, because I didn't become a liberal Democrat just on the sake of it being the one solid institution. No, it's because now we face a new battle. And when I say we, I'm talking about regular people. We face a new battle now. Again, we catching hell. We got two fronts that we fighting now, to our right flank and to our left flank. And both of them are illiberal. Now, you can push progressive policy all day long. Are you willing to sacrifice equal protection to do so? That's the question. And I say, hell no. That's just me. I say hell
I
no.
don't think you have to sacrifice anything. But the problem is when things fall apart, they just blame the Democrat because that's the only option that's going to get any progress.
But you
I
can't
don't
look at
agree
it that
with-
way, Venkat. You cannot see, and that's the problem.
Mhm.
You can't paint it with a broad brush, Venkat.
No, this is not a broad brush. This is reality.
Listen what I'm saying. You saying blame the Democrat. I'm not blaming the Democrat. I'm not doing that.
No,
And
I'm talking about, okay, you see the energy that Mike and Ricardo have when they're upset about certain things. Okay, so Barack Obama is probably one of the most accomplished presidents we've ever had. And there's a lot of policies that he's put through that were really great for the country. One of the things, because it's this weird thing about what did Obama do for Black people, which that's been now debunked with all these policies that people don't pay attention to. People don't want to even look to see what the hell it is. And they say it like as if they're saying something monumental or groundbreaking. Meanwhile, there's no policies from the guy Trump that claims to be the best thing for Black people. But what I want to say is Mike, Ricardo, them, they get mad about the fact that things were almost there, but not fully there. But the not fully there usually comes back to the lack of support of the very people criticizing. Those voters and whatnot that are not in tune from the get-go.
I agree.
We had this big wave of support for Obama coming in 2008. What immediately happened after that? Everybody's like, we got the king in, now he does fix everything.
They lost.
And then in 2010, it got completely wiped out because and I know people in my family, they voted for the first time for Barack Obama. And then after that, in 2008, they didn't get involved in midterms. They didn't get involved in local elections. And then all that crumbled. That then made a setback. And then people are looking at Obama and like, oh,
we had the Boehner regime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the same people that are complaining that, well, I'm tired of the Democrats. They don't do everything. But every crucial step of the way, when the support is needed to be there to get to the finish line, people buckle. This past election in 2024, more people did not vote overall than they voted for Kamala Harris. More people that did not vote, they outnumbered the people that voted for Trump. So we just had a bunch of people complaining on the sideline, and that's the problem, right? Because when that happens, the Republicans have no pressure, right? When that happens, it's the Democrats' fault. And I just feel like I know that with everything that goes wrong, it always comes down to the Democrat, no matter if they were in charge or not. Biden got blamed for inflation. That is absolutely absurd. When inflation originated from Trump's policies and then COVID failures, and then we got the inflation from those actions. I have to explain that, and nobody else could just see that off the top. The other thing too, Obama bought the cameras for the police. That's a monumental change. But because they can turn it off, that's somehow a failure. I mean, this is politics. There's a give and a take, and you don't get everything you want. But
That's true.
The criticism is, I think, misguided.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
But look at it this way as well, Vegas. So you brought up the camera, because I remember that whole thing. The whole camera thing with the law enforcement started just because, if you remember looking back, there was a whole series of, and if we want to put it in the political lens of what we were, a lot of Black people were getting shot and killed just for the nonsense of what it was. It started from Castillo getting shot in the car when the police officer pulled him over with his at the time his significant other and her daughter in the back. And all the police asked was for him to show his license. I believe it was the license or the gun license, one of the two. I can't remember the whole gist of it back then. all of a sudden he pulled out the law enforcement officer pulled out his weapon and shot him for reason. So there was a whole bunch of stuff that you remember that led after that. It was just a whole series, and it looked like a correlation where it was just black people getting killed for no apparent reason. So Obama was like, okay, so then if you remember, the black community started saying, okay, well, President Obama, you're now here. You're the president. You're seeing what they're doing to the community. What are you going to do about it? If you remember well, he did a town hall meeting where it was telecasted live on TV, where I believe one of the kids, I think it was one of the parents of the kid that said, Obama's like, well, I have to bring it in because if you look at it, I have to get in touch with law enforcement and I got to get in touch with the community. And so somewhere along the lines, we got to meet in the middle somewhere because and I remember in that town hall, I hear law enforcement school, this was their excuse. Oh, but when we have to go into bad communities and we have to deal with certain things when we're under pressure, what do you expect us to do? And I was like, well, you can educate your law enforcement officers that are going into that not all communities you go into, well, it's going to have people that are going to be that way. You can't just go in with that mentality. It's just that you're automatically going to assume every black person that you see is going to hold a gun or is a Muslim.
But Ricardo, we know that there are people that joined the police that are racist, white supremacists, because they can wield that power to do what they will. It's not, I was afraid, I was this. It's the excuse used to cover up the true agenda. In California, there's a gang for police in California. That was reported on and disclosed a couple years ago. This stuff is out in the open now. It's all a lie, and it's all politics, really, is what it is, deceitful stuff. But, you know, a lot of things can be true and also not be true. But the intent is what I look for. And I always say that. I'm looking for the intent. When Obama said he was going to close down Guantanamo, everybody's like, oh, he didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. He's fair. But he attempted multiple times. What stopped him? Republicans that were in Republican states, they said they don't want those people in their neighborhoods, their cities and whatnot, because then they'll be open for terrorist attacks. And that's what pretty much stopped it. So then the average person looking at it like, Obama lied. How is that a lie? He attempted to do something and it didn't happen for various reasons why. But that's the intent versus the lie. Now, when Trump says we're doing infrastructure week, and he said it for his whole first term, and it never happened, and it only happened when Biden got in, and they actually passed the infrastructure bill, and then Republicans took credit saying how they helped made the bill that they voted against. That's what I'm talking about. We focus on the Democrats, and we give them a half view. We don't look at their full picture. The Democrats perfect? No, but why do I have to say that? We're dealing with human beings. Human beings are flawed.
But remember also when it came to that infrastructure bill, if correct me if I'm wrong, MD, didn't the Democrats spun that first as like a big green bill or something along that lines where they were like, oh,
it was packaged in the IRA. Well, Build Back, it was actually the what did they call it? The IRA, the what was it called? What was the IRA called? That's the acronym. What was it actually called?
Not sure.
In any event, they basically had to break it up.
Right. That's what I remember.
Right.
Because because the way they spun it at the time was like, oh, it's going to be Pelosi was going on and on. Oh, it's the great big green plan, and we're going to go with how they do it in Germany, where it's all about like that we're getting the electric.
But the Green New Deal passed though. It
did.
Passed.
But at the time, if you remember, the Republicans were going, "Oh no, there's no way this is just way too progressive and brand new for us to like accept. We still need coal in this country because this country was built on coal and built on oil."
But see, I think we're getting away from. So I understand what you're saying, Ricardo, but why did it have to happen that way? Again, this country, unfortunately, you know, I'm not saying it's right, but unfortunately, this country is ran on a lobbyist system.
It
Yes.
is.
Republicans are bought and paid for by big oil.
And
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 so is the
Democrats. And
Democrats.
Democrats.
And that's the point I'm getting at. That's the point I'm getting at.
So, but
Yeah, but
again,
that's the game, though. That's politics. That's
Politics.
the game.
No,
Government is the game. Politics is how it's played.
But here's the thing, though. This is where political education comes into play here, because it comes back down to civics, which you're not teaching that much in school. I need people to understand that it's all a political ploy and game, and we're all that basically they're all puppeteers in this whole thing, stringing us along with this nonsense. It's the same recycled nonsense over and over again. When it comes to political education and literacy, I need people to understand, which is the every 4 years. I need y'all to focus on the midterms, where the people that are getting voted in are the judges, the people at the lower levels. These are the ones that are making the plans and are changing the things that are happening. It's not just because I think that's where the problem is with, and this. You gotta
Most people
educate the
don't look at
people.
it that way. They
That's
only
the
know about the
problem,
general
though.
election. That's the
Yes,
only
Franklin.
election they think about.
No. We got to change that mindset. I've been saying that, and
I
that's the same
understand
thing.
that. I
That's
agree
the
with
same
you.
thing with that's the same thing with the young vote when they're going on, when they were going on and on about, oh, the young voters don't understand. Well, educate them. This is the issue that I'm having, where you only focus on I'm not saying you, Venkat, where the
No, I know what you're
Democrats as a
saying. I know.
whole just focus on big elections. And I get it. The big elections is where it comes into play. But at the same time, midterms, which is the one that's coming up in November, that's significant right now, because that's where both sides are going, okay, well, now we got to panic because we don't know how to quell and get everybody in the same coordinates into alignment of who's going to do what and who's doing what and who's like, this is significant.
Are you saying that that's a Democratic Party problem?
No, I'm saying
It's always Democrat.
I'm saying it's a whole, it just entirely as a whole in this country. That's the issue that I have, is that, but it doesn't help when the Democratic Party doesn't put that in focus, where it's just, my thing is I only see it when it comes with the big elections, not when it comes to the midterms, and then they panic.
With that.
But this is what happened.
Wait a minute. But
this is what happened the last time, though. This is what happened the last time.
Democrats never get into office with the economy stable and there's no wars or nothing going on,
Because
and then they can go from there.
Well, you're talking about grievance, Venkat. I don't.
No, that's not that's not a grievance. That's a real thing, because the policies that are required that we want to see happen, we're bogged down with these other issues that they have to focus and spend on.
I don't think that's what Ricardo's talking about.
No, I get that. I'm making that point that the Democrats have the burden of being blamed for stuff. Meanwhile, when they fix it, the country goes right back Republican. Then we find ourselves back in a mess. This guy just gave us COVID and the failures of COVID, and now he's back in office after 1 million people died from COVID. And what do we magically have? We have measles. We have friggin' the parasite in the salad.
Lettuce, yeah.
Diarrhea shitstorm from lettuce.
Come on, man. Every time Trump's in office, there is a virus or some sort of a health issue. And what is his track record? He killed the World Health Organization. He got rid of people in the CDC.
Yep.
All these restrictions and whatnot, and now we have all these health issues literally going on in real time.
I don't think that explains why we're not getting voter turnout in all of your elections.
That's exactly explaining it. Because again, when you're disenfranchised, when you're felt unheard, and you just see all these problems mounting around, and now you don't care and you don't understand that that's exactly what the game is, to get you disenfranchised, so that you don't care, so that the country could be controlled by a minority of people. And I hate that with a passion, because I don't think the minority should be telling the majority of the people what to do.
But can you explain
illiberalism, like I said, and that's the whole theme of tonight's show.
Right.
You heard what Venkat just said.
That's right.
The minority of the people should, and I, to be honest, I don't think that's like what's happening.
That's definitely what's happening.
I understand what you're saying, and I get it from the perspective of disenfranchisement. I'm not arguing with you on that, but it goes to the main theme of tonight's show. To me, I didn't even want to talk about Republicans tonight, to be honest with you.
No, you got to talk about them, MD. Sorry, no, we can't do it. We have to talk about them.
At this point, and I'm gonna just be totally honest. At this point, Republicans are shitting the bed so badly. To me, they're not even like an issue right now.
Right.
The issue for me
is what?
Is the lefty loonies.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
I became a Democrat, not just a regular old Democrat, a liberal Democrat.
But in all fairness, I have to agree with MD. I once upon a time used to be like, I'm going to ignore that side of the tent because they just never will populate and they will never come to anything because the old school will put them in place. Oh no. There's a series of things alarming things that have come out in the past, I would say in the past month that I'm like, what in the hell are they talking about? Because now it's like, oh, we could come out of, like, it's basically what they're projecting is we could come out of the woodworks now and we could do whatever. And we can manipulate the masses into voting for what we want because it's easier to do that. You can't do that. And that's a huge problem for me because now you're going to conflate what it is that the party is standing for by you going into this whole nonsense of, remember, if you remember well, when they did the whole college thing where they were like, oh, we're going to protest about the whole Palestine and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Ricardo, where they at right now? I don't see him. I don't see him at all.
But that was a huge thing, though. It was a huge, don't get me wrong, it was a huge coalition of like everybody trying to do, but then it didn't materialize because remember the colleges pushed back where they were like, oh, we're going to not make you graduate, or we're going to do this, or we're going to try to revoke your visas, or so there was a whole bunch of pushback. But the thing
you're saying they got scared is what you're saying.
Well, I mean,
but they was lit under what president?
Ricardo? They were.
Who was president at the time? And that goes back to Vancat's point.
Biden.
That goes back to
Uncle
Vancat's
Joe.
point. But Vancat just said the minority is being led by them. And again, I understand this point. I'm not saying that I don't. But what's going on right now, you can't attest any type of left-leaning shit to
it's
what
hella
you're
scary
seeing right now. And I don't think Vancat agreed with none of this shit going on. I hope he don't. But again, I'm a play a series. Matter of fact, let's start because I got a few videos I want to get. Like I said, we just shooting this shit tonight. MD's Thought Box Live. Ain't nothing too serious. I got a series of videos I want to play. No edits, just straight video. And I want to get y'all reaction to a lot of these videos. I don't even know which one I want to play first. You know what? Let's go to Fox News. Fuck it. Let's go to Fox News. Again, you can discern information from anywhere. I always tell people that. Let's go to Fox News. Let's play this video right here.
I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party. Ideas that are literally insane, nutty, moronic, dangerous, bigoted, are not progressive, they're regressive, and they should not be in our party.
I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know the talking point is that, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. They say things like, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism.
And this comes amid reports of tension between Bernie Sanders and Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader personally calling the socialist senator, telling him to stop meddling in Democratic primaries. But Sanders wasn't taking his orders. Over the weekend, Bernie teamed up with far-left Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed for a campaign rally that was a doozy. Watch here.
Brothers and sisters, let me tell you, change is coming. Progressives have been defeating establishment candidates all across America. Now, brothers and sisters, the entire country is watching this election, so there's an enormous responsibility on your shoulders.
Harold, you have made a point for many years of trying to separate the Democratic Socialists from the Democratic Party. Will Hakeem Jeffries be successful here?
I hope he is. First of all, it's good to be with everybody.
Good to be with you.
It was good to be with both of you yesterday at the soccer game. I didn't get invited. I barely got invited. It was fun.
Thanks for carrying my
stuff. So a couple of things. No borders, no prisons, no police, supporting Hamas. We've been saying this on the show. I've said it for a while. I'm Van Jones, who I think is one of the more thoughtful voices and has been a leader in the party, serving, working in the White House. I don't quite understand some of the appeal to what some of these guys are talking about. I understand the frustration, the economic frustration. I understand frustration with some of our policies in the Middle East over the years, or for that matter, over the decades. But to say that supporting an organization that exacts and imposes violence on people because of their faith, to say that we don't want to have borders for our country and allow any and everyone to come in, even the worst of the worst, to say that you want no law enforcement and no place to put those who commit crimes, I don't know how that aligns or has ever aligned with the Democratic Party. Ideas are what win elections. I would suggest to Senator Sanders and others that if you look at the most recent polling data, you guys are looking at the polling data, which are the most reliable elections where some of the progressives are winning these elections. You look at the recent polling data about how Democrats are faring right now in the national races for Congress. We're in a dead heat with Republicans. And if you listen to those independents and others and some Republicans, it's because they are afraid of this message. They are afraid of the socialist communist wing of the party. Now, you may get a lot of excitement there, and I've been a part of a lot of rallies over my short time in politics. I grew up in a political family. I'm 56 years old, and I've seen anger turn into enthusiasm.
You look amazing.
But that enthusiasm is really predicated and really motivated around how are we going to solve real problems. No prisons, no borders, no police. Supporting Hamas is not an answer to solving the economic challenges facing so many Americans. It's not a solution to our broken foreign policy policies that we have in our country that are not working, whether it be in Iran or in other places. We live in a country where we've always had challenges, and we've had people roll up their sleeves and get to work. We don't have people rolling up their sleeves and saying, we're going to quit. We're going to quit capitalism. We're going to quit democracy. And we're going to go to socialism. We do that, it will get far worse. And Democrats, if we find independents and even some Democrats leaving us in the fall, come October, November, or when early voting starts in these key states, we will have only ourselves to blame if we continue to embrace a group of people whose ideas are not only anti-Democrat party, but anti-American.
Kennedy.
All right, so that's the first video I wanted to play.
That's
so
infuriating. I hate to interrupt you, MD, but
I don't understand what's going on. What you mean?
Okay, first of all, Bill Maher stood there and said, "Oh, they're going to take out entire industries." One other person talked about getting rid of the jails and having people get killed in the streets.
So what's infuriating? I don't understand. What's going on?
Because right now it is actually happening. Right now, there's like 38 guys that's on this DSA thing, talking what they're talking. And by the way, in reaction to the nonsense that's going on right now with this administration, we see people shot down like dogs. Right now, we've seen Trump take Doge and other industries, defund it, eliminate it. They did all those things. It's like happening right now from the Republican Party.
No, I don't think nobody's disagreeing with you, though.
No, they are because the energy is hyper focused on these 38 guys over here from
because
DSA.
The energy is hyper focused from a voter base. Do you not see what's going on right now?
No. I do. I clearly see what's going on.
That's a cop out, Vic.
It's not a cop out. It's not a cop out. Where was this energy when all this stuff was going on and still continues to go on with the Trump administration. And why are we acting like it's like what is going on with the DSA is brand friggin' new? The stuff that's happened within the Trump administration, the eliminating of Black history, the eliminating of Black jobs that were in the government, all these women unemployed, gone, getting rid of key people in the government that takes care of our health care and the CDC and all this other stuff.
Are you saying Democrats that are running primaries against DSA aren't talking about that? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying they're ringing the bell like the house is on fire for guys that are not even in power. And the guys that are in power are doing the same, if not worse, right now. And we're just like giving them a pass.
You know, it's funny. It's funny. I remember hearing this same argument being had back in 2010 with the Tea Party. I remember it. I think you remember it too.
But the Tea Party amounted to a wave of people coming in, and then unceremoniously, bit by bit, with subsequent elections, they all got voted out for the most part. And it really didn't amount to anything. It really didn't.
So you don't equate the Tea Party with what we see now in the MAGA move? You don't equate the two? Is that what you're saying?
A lot of those jackasses are probably
now some Tea Party members
are against
did evacuate.
MAGA.
You're correct.
Yes.
But the majority wasn't.
Yeah.
The majority wasn't. That's a fact. So I
don't equate. But I don't equate what's happening right now as the strength of MAGA. I don't feel MAGA is any strength.
A lot of people said that shit in 2010.
No, MAGA represents.
A lot of people said it.
No, MAGA represents 33%. The problem was the people that didn't vote and the people that were fickled in their mentality. They were frustrated and they just voted for the Republicans and Trump because they were quote unquote angry because David, who's now Diana, is playing on a basketball court with women and making all these other issues that were about nothing big that we really needed to focus on.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Van Cat. I just think I don't know if you just got the blinders on.
It's not a blinder,
what's going on, but you failed to see the equation taking shape. I don't know why.
No.
You know what? I do know why. I know why.
Come on.
Because what I said in the group chat, when it's policies that you agree with, maybe I can look the other way.
I don't even care. I don't even care about whatever policy they're talking about.
Oh my
concern,
God.
I don't.
My Lord.
my concern is, and this goes back to what I had been saying about how when things on the Democratic Party happens, how it's focused on so much differently than the Republican Party. Again, these people you talk about, they don't, in most cases, they don't even have office yet. They don't even have power on any level. The literal guys.
Mamdani is the mayor of the largest city in America.
Okay, so one thing with that, Mamdani, he's a mayor. He's under a governor. He's not even bigger than a governor. But I'm gonna freak out about a mayor in some city.
Mamdani is individually responsible for basically putting in 3 Congress people now, because they're gonna win the election. It's fucking New York.
That's fine. That's fine. MAGA maniacs got put in all day long. Nobody was batting an eye.
I'm seeing a theme here, Van Cat. Every time we say something about Democrats, you immediately revert to talking about Republicans. I'm noticing that tonight. And again, I get your sentiment. I'm not saying that I don't.
Come on. You can't ignore the fact that
nobody's ignoring it. Nobody's ignoring it, Van Cat.
But again, one side has power. They have policies they've implemented. The other side is just talking. The other side hasn't even been elected. And what I'm saying is the energy I see for the DSAs, the energy and the resistance that I see there. Why wasn't it there with Trump and all this stuff,
Because
MAGA
Trump
and all
is
this
not
stuff?
in the Democratic Party. We know we got to fight Republicans.
No.
That's a given.
No. This is a tool to put minds and focus on something else, and we're giving a pass to this other stuff.
Well, they got me because my mind is focused on it. They got me. They got the hell out of me.
There are Republicans that are super focused on that because this is an opening for them to help to bring it down as far as the chances of a big wave happening in this midterm. This is the sore spot.
But why is it a wave? Because nobody wants communism, Venkat.
Right.
Nobody wants an open border.
Come on, man.
Nobody wants the
socialism.
abolishment of prison. Like it boggles my mind that you just think this ain't a thing right now.
So
that's crazy.
So, and that's the other thing too, because this is politics, and I've watched and learned long enough that we present half truths and we piecemeal it to form a narrative. The focus on the prisons, I'm sure if we all think about what the prison system has been in this country, it's been frigged up, but especially frigged up for Black people in general. For all these people that 30 years later are being exonerated, not because somebody had a guilty conscience, it's because of DNA technology that wasn't there when they were in jail.
That's a false equivalency.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Nobody is saying that we don't want prison reform.
No. Why is it that the strength of the argument isn't there though? So nobody's talking about that. Nobody's doing that. But when these guys come around, we're talking about it, and we got the alarms on heavy for it. And
so here,
I'm just saying, huh? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I got now. This isn't the full DSA party platform. This is just a little placard that they put out.
But I want to ask you, Venkat, not to interject on your talking point there, MD. Do you not find it alarming when they bring up talking points like, oh, but when we're coming in, we're trying to abolish certain parts of the Constitution. We're gonna come in and we're gonna try to do such and
Trump
such.
literally said that.
There you go again, Ricardo.
No,
I understand. No, I understand. But you know what?
You cannot. I'm sorry, but you can't.
I got
you can't get over that because the example is the guy in power right now, the guy that ran for the power.
But he's not a conservative though. We always knew Trump was like
no. But what I'm saying is
you just hit the nail on the head, Ricardo.
Oh,
you just hit the nail on the old noggin. What do I always say, Ricardo? There's no such thing as left wing and right wing populism. It's not. Sorry. The same thing Trump is doing essentially
is what
it's the same shit as what the lefty loonies is talking about.
But it's not the same again, because again, you cannot get past the fact he's in power, and
nobody's disputing that.
Nobody's disputing that he's in power.
But we've known these issues about him, and we re-elected him again after all the red flags. So why wasn't the strength of the resistance that are on these 38 guys or 50 guys or whoever the hell these people are? Why wasn't that energy and talking there for the one that is in freaking power? These guys are talking on the internet.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. It's because
they're Democrats. That's why.
No.
That's 100%.
No,
it's because Trump. Listen, what I'm saying. Venkat.
Yeah.
The reason why it wasn't because those talking points that Trump was saying were projected on the Democratic Party.
Yes.
What did he always say during the campaign? The radical left. Shit radical about a Democratic Party. Not a damn thing.
That's true. Facts.
I tell you who is radical though.
Facts.
The actual radical left. And these are the problems that you don't want to talk about in terms of what we facing. I get everything you're saying in terms of Trump.
And
You're not wrong.
And also to add to MD's point, as well, Van Cat, we got to be careful of these people because now we're gonna delineate far way. The problem that I have with them coming into the mix of midterms is that now you're gonna split the party into a way that we don't even need right about now. We need everybody to be focused on getting everything in check and in balance, because it's all about check and balance. We've always said this from day one. We got to have check and balance, because when you have the Republican Party and what you're seeing Trump with the Project 2025, people were behind the scenes, that we all know who they are, that are pushing these agendas and whatnot. In order for everything to be on a level playing field now, when you have the Democrats coming into the Senate and everybody else coming into play, you can't have these people coming and talk about, oh, but I want to change the Constitution because I need it to be radical enough to be like, what are you talking about? Like, we don't got time for that kind of nonsense. When you're going to come in and say we're going to try to, in other words, they're trying to say they're going to come in to manipulate the masses, which is the people that usually vote Democrats, to vote for whatever the agenda is, but then come in and switch it whenever they come into play.
But
we can't do that.
What about the Supreme Court? And when we just had the decision the other day, and how they literally were going against the Constitution as far as the way they tried to. Luckily, they didn't pass it, but what those justices, that's why I had a problem with, because they're clearly going against the Constitution. But again, it's the same message. When it has to do with Republicans, there's so many egregious factors and features within that party. And what they've done, there's so much of it that is like just thrown to the wayside. But the second an unelected, I need people to grasp, unelected people that are talking, trying to be elected, somehow that's a greater threat than the niggas in there actually writing on the pen and paper the bills that we're having to face with.
Ricardo literally just said, like, what? Do you understand, Van Cat?
No. I'm gonna keep pushing it because this is outrageous. This is outrageous.
But
Ricardo literally just said. Ricardo literally just said. The Democratic Party as a whole don't need this distraction right now.
They don't.
Probably not since 1992. Ross Perot. We haven't seen no shit like this in the primary.
Nope, we have exactly.
But MD, what we just seen with the Democratic Party, we saw Joe Biden, who pretty much caused all this mess, right? And people in the Democratic Party again are pissed and frustrated. So this is exactly what should happen when the leaders of the Democratic Party, the establishment, when they sabotage Bernie, when they did all the things they did, I'm just saying, you're gonna have all of a sudden, that's why these people are getting support. Because the everyday average person that may not follow politics as much as we do, they will fall right in line with whatever platform they have, even if it's just like the MAGA maniacs, even if it's just like one or two things that they like. Right.
I'm glad you said it.
It's the same kind of.
Glad you said it.
But that's the point. I'm more focused on not the little stuff. I'm focused on the bigger thing. This is the Democrats' fault, Democratic leadership, for the position that they put themselves and the party in. And now people are frustrated, so they want another way. That makes freaking sense. That's exactly what should happen. So anybody, this is the nerves of all these establishment Democrats that are like, oh my God, this is going to mess us up. Well, you should have thought of that before you were doing what you did. I'm just saying.
I want y'all to pay attention.
Go ahead.
I want y'all to pay attention to what Van Cat just said.
Go ahead.
Only a few moments ago, he said that these was like 40 people do nothings.
Yes.
And they're not even elected. Now all of a sudden the people are angry, Ricardo. The people are angry. They won't change.
There's a difference between the voters and the politicians.
I agree. I agree with that too. That's why we got a problem. Because those little 40 people that are influencing the voters, like you just said, Van Cat.
That's right. Yeah.
Those 40 people are the ones that's establishing the policy platform. And part of their policy platform is abolish the prison altogether. And I don't like that. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with that either. I don't think you need to abolish the prison system, but I do think there's some issues with the prison system.
Let me read. Ain't no sense us talk. We ain't no babbling. That's what we're doing right now. Let me read what the DSA says that they want to do, because those are the people that matter, Vancat. And then I'm gonna let you go, Ricardo. Right here it says abolish the carceral state. Redirect police and prison funding to public services as steps toward abolishing the carceral forces of the capitalist state. What the hell is that, Vancat? Don't piss on my leg and say that it's raining. Please don't do that. Don't do it.
Go ahead.
That's what it says. Here's another one. And you might like this one. This is a favorite of yours. Abolish the Senate.
No, I don't. No, why would I want the Senate? Why would I want the Senate abolished?
Have I not heard you say that, Vancat? Come on.
No,
now.
I said abolish ICE. I didn't say anything about Senate.
I could have sworn I heard you say that before.
Why would I ever want the Senate to be gone? That makes no sense.
Well, the DSA want it gone. Let me read to you what they say. Implement proportional representation. You like proportional representation. You said the majority and the minority, right? whatever the hell that means. The majority to what?
I don't want the minority running the shots.
What? So minority in terms of what? Let's break
smaller
that down
states, smaller states, the smaller party. Let's be real. The way the system is set up right now, it did like the Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin are examples of how just a couple people can literally put a monkey wrench in any big bill or thing that they're trying to pass. I don't like a small few to do that. I just don't like that.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not a democracy, Vancat. That's not the country that we are. We're a constitutional republic. We don't have mob rule in this country. Vancat won't mob rule. DSA won't mob rule too, though. So, as a matter of fact, let me go to the mob rule. Remake elections nationwide. Check this out. Abolish the electoral college. Replace
I agree with
the
that.
two-party system.
I agree with that.
The Constitution don't agree with you, but in any event,
whatever. The electoral college is a racist. It goes back from slavery time. It's a whole documentary that they did on the electoral college that it's pretty interesting, and the whole basis of it isn't really beneficial for what you think it would be beneficial for. And all it does is just keeps us backwards. It's the only chance the Republican Party has to win an election, and therefore protects them from even trying to evolve their party and improve their party. The Republican Party,
we should be mob rule, right?
It ain't about mob rule. It's about not allowing the lesser side.
Mob rule.
No, it's not no mob rule.
That's literally what the legal definition is. Mob rule.
No.
So you'll fit snugly in the DSA. When they say abolish the electoral college,
snugly. Replace
the two-party system with a multi-party democracy.
I've always said that there should be six parties.
We're not
How's
a
that bad?
democracy. I don't. The multi-party system, that's fine. I ain't got no issue with that. We're not a democracy. We just ain't. I mean, I don't understand, like what's going on. That if you want a democracy in this country, that means you want anarchy in this country, because that's what you'll have to do to get it. I mean, it is what it is. Expand. Check this shit out. Expand the House of Representatives. Implement proportional representation and ranked choice voting in all elections. Basically, what they're saying is we want to get it to a position where, like Vancat just said, we got mob rule. Therefore, we'll always be in power. Republicans will never fucking be in power. According to their logic.
I don't agree with. I don't know where the hell they get that expanding Congress crap. I've never heard nobody talk about that. I've heard people talk about
that's in
expanding the Supreme Court.
Vancat, that's in the same article that it talks about the Senate. That's Article 1 of the Constitution.
Yeah, well,
so if you want to get away with one part of Article 1, but not the other.
Well, first of all, you act like I'm endorsing these niggas. You act like I'm on their payroll or something. I'm just talking about the troubling nature of how when there's something wrong with the Democratic Party and the levels to that wrong, right? Because something wrong in the Republican Party is a way different level than something wrong in the Democratic Party. And the Republican Party has been a problem in this country for decades. And the alarm just went off for these 38 niggas in the DSA.
There you go again.
There you go. I'm just saying, it just blows my mind. Like, where was this friggin' energy when there were crucial times we needed that? And we just gave that power away. And we're currently seeing people get shot down in the streets. We're seeing people going to jail. I said something in the group chat earlier today about how, you know, Trump is talking about fixed elections and people voting with dead relatives and blah, blah, blah. Rachel Maddow actually gave 4 examples of actual Republicans, Trump-supporting Republicans, voting for their dead wife, mother, and grandmother. And they voted Trump with their vote. And then after they were found by the system, because the system does work, they were given like minor probation or some crap like that. And then a woman, huh?
No, finish up.
Yeah, and then a woman, I think in New Orleans, a black woman, because all 4 of those guys were white men. And then she was in jail at one point, got out. Nobody said she couldn't vote. Even her parole officer or whatever told her, you're able to vote in writing. Had all this stuff that it clearly shows that she wasn't trying to break the law, but she was even eligible to vote in the system. So if she wasn't able to vote, they should have turned off her right to vote in the system. But none of those things happened. She ended up voting. She didn't realize that she wasn't supposed to, and she got 6 years. So the problem here is, you know, the ignoring of one side versus another. And until we deal with that, it'll never be right. It'll never be right. We'll never get anywhere.
Let me let Ricardo go. I just got to say, I think you're doing an incredible amount of deflection right now.
I'm not deflecting.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
I have nothing else to add at this point. I'm just very surprised with this Democratic Socialist. What is the A for? Because I'm still trying to figure out what the
America
A and the B
is Democratic Socialists of America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after hearing the Republicans go on and on and on about them not wanting socialism and whatnot in this country, they still think that this is going to fly in the face of the fiscal conservative that the nation, you know, really has in terms of. So let me just put this out there. Do you, Venkat or MD, believe there's conservative Democrats still in this day and age?
Course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What do we say when we see stuff like this from that? And this where you hear me.
Oh, you're breaking up, Ricardo.
Disenfranchisement.
You're breaking up.
You hear me now? Oh, here.
Yeah, I can hear you now. But
I'm trying to. I don't know if you can hear me well. Yeah, it's damn AT&T and their friggin' signals in my area. I'm in a dead zone. I can't stand this damn company. But when it comes to the Democratic Party, my problem with this whole, and don't get me wrong, because I do have a little bit of socialism leaning, because I'm one of those people that love the idea of, I don't know if we coined it workforce, but affordable housing is always one of those things you always hear me go on and on about, because I grew up in one. So, and it was never bad. For those of y'all that are out there talking about, there's drugs, I never had that issue. There was always working class people in the building. They go to work, contributed to the economy, came back home and did all of that. So I'm a strong believer in the affordable housing, initiative when it comes to like inner cities and large cities. When you get the housing costs low, that's one of my socialism, 101 that I have. But when it comes to this, where they're talking about abolishing like the Senate and the president, none of that makes sense, because the country was big. If we're going by, and MD will call himself one too, constitutionalists. We cannot have that. That is one of the things you can never come about and say that you are going to try that. But no. That's one thing I will not stand for. I did not take my oath for citizenship for this country to then be told I'm going to abolish what. No, we're not doing that. Checks and balances will always be one of the forefronts that I will push for because we need it. It's always been there. Civics is one of the most important things that you will hear. And checks and balances is one of those things. When you hear the what do you call them again? Democratic Socialists, whatever a party this is, it's a no for me. This is where you're deviating from what the Democratic Party really is. And if we're going to go back in the historical context of what the party has come into from the Dixiecrats until now, we're not having it. Most of us are not going to be standing for this crap. And Bernie, I'm really disappointed in you because, for one, I know you pushed for the progressive and the initiative of what it is, and Ortiz wherever she is, because I barely hear her in the news anymore. I don't know if these people are drowning her out. I don't know if she's trying to get a seat anymore. I don't know what's going on with her, but I know with her I could usually tell the temperature with her. And Bernie, I can't even tell it anymore because now Bernie's championing the cause for these noonies that are out there that are like talking about, oh, we're gonna come in. No, sorry, Bob. If you're gonna come in with this kind of initiative and push, I might as well not vote for you. I don't even know why people are voting for them to begin with.
But who made this platform? Who's this representing, and who made the platform as far as these agendas?
This is the party platform.
No, it's not. That's not the Democratic platform. I'm just saying.
It's the DSA. It's the DSA platform.
And who the frick?
These people are being ran by the DSA.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't like I'm pulling this out my ass, Venkat. What I'm telling you,
I get that.
Listen, the DSA, we understand, in the context of the duopoly, is not considered a party. Nothing saying that you can't run independent. What I'm simply telling you is this: these people are trying to infiltrate.
Yes, they are.
The infrastructure of the Democratic Party.
Yes, they are.
Because they know that's where the resources are.
Yes, they are.
They know that. You don't think they know that? They know that.
And they know exactly what they're doing too. And they said it with their own mouth. They've said it literally.
I'm about to play the video. I'm about to play the video.
But why on this platform isn't there anything about the 40-hour work week?
Now, again, like I said, this is not the whole. Like I'm on my phone. I can't pull up.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Full list of the platform. But this is the placard they made. I didn't make the shit. They made it.
With AI, by the way. But still.
The abolition of the Senate is just a weird one. I don't know where that even came from.
But this is the reality, Venkat. What I'm telling you is this. These people were personally vetted.
Mm-hmm.
Were chosen to run against the incumbent.
Yes, they are.
By the Democratic Social. These ain't just some willy-nilly people and then the DSA endorse them. No. So these people are DSA.
So the abolish ICE, which I'm 100% for, and grant amnesty.
But you're not.
for all.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Venkat. You're not reading the whole. You got to give context. It sounds nice and again, I don't even believe in abolishing ICE, but that's just me. But you got to read it in its full context. Matter of fact, let me do that now, and then I'm gonna play the little promotional video they put out. I'm gonna play that so you can get a better context on what the hell they're saying.
Video.
So we read the abolish ICE. This is the next one. This is some more crazy shit. Replace the president and Supreme Court. Replace the president and Supreme Court with a executive and judiciary. Now check this out. Chosen by and subordinate to Congress. Essentially what they're saying is we will no longer have presidential elections. They want the Congress.
Didn't Trump say that? Isn't Project 2020?
You deflect.
No, I'm just saying.
Venkat,
Project 2025 had a whole list of areas of the government.
Everything that you're saying, Venkat, but this don't make like. I don't give a damn where it comes from, is what I'm really trying to say, Venkat. I understand Trump is president right now. Of course, we need to fight that. We also need to fight this. We could chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, Venkat. We can do that.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard.
Let me continue to read. Basically, what they're saying Basically, what they're saying is there will no longer be a presidential election. Congress will select. Now, for context, for further context,
Yeah.
Originally in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution, everybody was being elected by delegates. It wasn't even like a concept of
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
general elect. Well, again,
That's ridiculous.
you know, they changed it because they understood
Right.
like this was going to be the thing.
Right. Right.
But to say that your executive nor your Supreme Court is going to be because like I said, the executive branch is duly elected, and then
Right.
through the executive we appoint, and then we got the Senate confirmation hearings and all of that.
They need to get rid of those lifetime appointments in the Supreme Court, and they should have been digging into that type of stuff.
Well, again, like I said, you know,
Mhm.
to put contrast on it now is negotiable. But what I'm saying is DSA are saying that because they want mob rule just like you do, Venkat, they assume that everybody is going to be for them and it's going to be a supermajority in the Congress. Therefore, we're going to control that's essentially what they're saying in that. Here's the next one. Defund the Department of War. Defund the Department of War in all foreign wars and close overseas military bases. Again, it's a noble concept. It's going to be hell on earth if that happens. That's a fact.
But we outspend the next closest country.
That's not my point, Venkat.
No,
it
but
will be hell on earth is what I'm telling you.
if
we shut down shop,
we outspend them by like I think over 9 times or something like that. If we brought it down to 4 times, I don't think we're gonna be in trouble.
but you're trying to revise the platform. You're not in DSA, you say it, so you can't revise it.
Yeah, well, first of all, the DSA was not a thing in 2024, in 2022, in 2020. This is a new thing. Ain't nobody heard of this crap. And
well, as of right now, I ain't got roaches in my house, but that could change.
What I'm saying is that there's no legitimacy to it until you have what the Republicans are doing, where they actually are in office, making the bills and doing all that. It's fine and dandy to be like selective outrage on who you want to do this week with these guys. But to me, I'm unfaded by that. Because again, this is politics, and we're just always doing things to literally gaslight the American people. And I could see why people get pissed off and just throw their hands and don't want to deal with this nonsense anymore. But I think if there was any time to act, it was when the nigga, the Cheeto-looking nigga that's in there right now, if we would have been more on our game, we wouldn't be dealing with what we're dealing with now. The fact that I gotta go
back the hands of time, Venkat. We can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to deal in the here and
and
now.
to be honest, if I had the power to change it and make Kamala win, I would not do it, because the stuff we've witnessed and seen, it needed to be documented and it needed to happen to expose a lot of the hypocrisy of America in itself. The lies, the deception, the racism, all that stuff is on full display with Donald Trump. And the fact that people can't get over a woman running or voting for a woman or a woman of color or whatever the hell we want to do this time, that we just can't do it. So we rather put a buffoon in office that's enriching himself and screwing you over on a daily basis. Somehow that's okay. And then we want to also pretend that Joe Biden, the president that has passed the most legislation in decades, in generations, and somehow we're going to pretend that our lives were so much worse.
These people didn't vote for Joe Biden. Neither did the disgruntled Democrats.
Well, them idiots, they sound like them idiots from Detroit.
You're preaching to the choir, man. And that's what I'm trying to. You keep backtracking to Trump. Nobody's arguing that, and I don't understand why. Like you keep deflecting to that. That's not the argument.
It's not a deflect. It's a fact.
You can't see the effects and don't want to look into the future of the advent. You can't do that, Venkat. I'm sorry.
I don't believe that this can amount to any of the more damage than we've currently seen with
You
Republicans.
don't believe, so you don't believe
I don't believe it.
letting rapists and murderers run rapid in the street?
What rapists what rapists and murderers? We already got them.
Let me read it again.
Oh, okay, go ahead, MD. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Abolish the carceral state. Redirect police and prison funding to public service. If you stop right there, that sounds pretty great. But that ain't what as steps toward abolishing the carceral forces of the capitalist state. What does that mean, Venkat? Just speak plainly. What does that mean? You know what it means. You know what it means. So we can't sit here and just ignore this shit like it's just some hugabaloo. That's some bullshit, Venkat. But let me read this was smack dab right here in the center. Of course, you know this got to be the central point. Because without this, none of this shit exists. And that's free Palestine. For a free Palestine with Jerusalem as its capital. See, look, they actually, what they're doing right here, they agitate. They knew what they were doing when they said that shit.
Why are we world building? We're worried about world building overseas, and I don't know, man. The United States don't need to be the world's police. I never agree with that.
It
depends on why we're the world police.
But they're contradicting themselves in this thing though, because they're talking about they
right.
want to get rid of bases and stuff overseas, but you want to free Palestine and make Jerusalem the capital.
Make Jerusalem the capital. How the fuck you gonna do that? That's
war.
war.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's
like
war.
what do we? The message is lost then and there. Like what are we doing?
Of course,
they know that's war.
Yeah,
they know that.
I don't want any wars.
Right? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this doesn't even make sense. What are we really like? If that's the template that they're coming out with, that's a non-starter.
See, so this is bad branding here, and it's always it always conveniently comes off on progressives, and now progressives are going to catch heat for a lot of this. Now, is there some stuff that you could? There's always going to be some little stuff that you're gonna be like, okay, I understand. Or sometimes there's a half agreement, as we've seen, where half of it sounds good and the other half is bad. Or sometimes there's just, okay, that's good, blah, blah, blah. But who made these guys to be all king of niggas to even think that any platform or agenda that they come up with is meaningful or substantial? It doesn't mean anything because, again, they don't got no power. They don't got no nothing. It's no different than Project 2025, really, where they were just saying a bunch of stuff. And it was a very easy way to rebuke Project 2025, right? Don't vote Republican. Because they said they were going to use Project 2025. If Trump failed, they would use it on the next one and the next one. So you send a message as a voter, we don't want this crap, and you vote against them until they bow out. This is the same thing with these jackasses here.
You're right, Venkat, but the problem is, and the issue is, you don't want to make a distinct correlation between the two, and that's the problem. That's the problem. The fact that you don't believe that it's a correlation is the issue, and that's what me and Ricardo was talking about. Because this shit is like mirror images of each other. To be honest, you know what I mean? And to think that this is just like something minuscule. No, we seeing what's happening. Now again, like the media may be portraying it in a certain light, but that's what the media is supposed to do.
So
but we live in the age of the internet where you can look up whatever the hell you want to look up.
So the thing is, and I talk about this all the time, how the Democrats got to be perfect, how the Democrats have to repair damages from past Republican administrations, and they spend a lot of time, energy, and effort, and then at the end of it, they get blamed for when things go bad. So now the Democratic Party has gotten to that point where, well, damn, why are we putting in the effort to fix things and do this and whatnot? We're going to be just as flawed as the Republicans, because why? Nobody held them accountable. We can't even get through talking and hearing that Trump did this, Trump did that, and then we just brush it off because the training wheels are on all the time. Every time. And that is the biggest issue, because it's creating a situation where now that the Democrats, if they become less than, because all these people have been complaining about the Democrats for decades, they're too weak, they're too this. So when the Democrats now go down a notch or two or 10, And now, does that mean that we need to force the Republican Party to now start to govern properly, to have actual policies that benefit many people,
No,
not
they
benefit
can
few?
keep doing. They can keep doing.
So then
what
we'll
they're
have
doing
both
because-
sides just sliding down.
and we're hell in a handbasket.
But the
like,
reason,
that's what it is.
but the reason both sides are falling down, it always comes back to the voters and the citizens of the country.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
So it's very easy to blame a Democrat, but at the end of the day, you didn't hold a politician accountable. And when you let them know that if I rape somebody and I don't get thrown out, I'll be good, then they're gonna keep doing that, and they're gonna do more stuff.
So basically, you're saying our descent into hell is basically futile. Like it's gonna happen. Because
I stopped blaming politicians. I blame the voters now. I don't
agree. I agree with you, Venkat. You're not saying nothing wrong here, but at the end of the day, as an informed voter, if you ain't doing shit about it, you just as culpable to the fucking crime. So at the end of the day, who are you gonna vote for?
No. So I'm a Democrat, right? And when I vote, and let's say one of these dingbats are on my ballot in my area, in my state or whatever, and I will look at the platforms with whoever they're running against or who they're running, against in their race, and I will then make a decision on what the hell I want. I don't want this. Why do I want the Senate to go away? That's just ridiculous.
So let me ask you then, Venkat. Now I'm gonna put your ass on the tightrope.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you then. These are the people that are either pushing or have vetted or have endorsed the progressive wing of the party. That's just a fact.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, that's just what it is. So the policies that you want are being funneled through these people. Facts. So now you at an impasse. Venkat.
Not really, because there's, again, just like with MAGA, right? You could have people that want certain policies that MAGA just co-opted, right? Because MAGA is really not Republican, but they co-opted the Republican Party to get things done the way they want to get done. But that doesn't mean that the Republican that doesn't agree with a MAGA policy or MAGA position, that doesn't mean that they're irrelevant. You just
No, you're right. You're right. But I'm telling you that the agenda is going to be that quote unquote establishment Democrat is not pushing progressive. That's just a fact. It ain't no way that you can finagle or get around.
But what I'm saying is, like, when they have like 2-3 people in a race, and they may have that establishment fence riding Democrat, yes. And I don't like them people. I don't want to vote for them people.
So you're gonna throw your vote away for the no name that's not gonna get nothing but a couple of thousand votes. That's what you're saying.
No, I mean,
are you gonna vote the couch? Let's just keep it real, Venkat. Let's just,
I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna always vote for the best option or the most realistic option that I can get.
That's admirable. That's admirable. Yeah. But it's not realistic.
Yeah.
You know that, and I know that. You know that, and I know that. Look at these races. What's going on right now, Ricardo? We're talking about like Abdul Al-Sayed and Haley Stevens in Michigan. We're talking about races. What's another lefty loony race going on? Maine. Y'all mentioned Maine. The Troy Jackson guy.
Right.
And Susan Collins. Susan Collins, for all intents and purposes, ain't nothing but a centrist Democrat. She might be up under the name of Republican, but she don't like her voting record is not Republican at all. Like you mentioned Ricardo today, they voted for the funding the authorization for the Iran war. She was the only Republican to vote against it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we gotta say, we already said this is a duopoly, Venkat. We gotta look at the options that's on the table. It's only gonna be, as far as money is concerned, only 2 candidates that's gonna be viable in a primary. It's gonna be your establishment versus the radical. You gotta pick one. Now, of course, you could, like I said, you could throw your vote away Mike Humblebug from fucking Albuquerque. That's fine. I mean, technically you're voting and he on the ballot, so do it.
Yeah.
But you know he ain't got a snowball chance in hell to win.
Right. So I'm not gonna vote for a person that's gonna garner 3%. I'm not doing that.
So I'm gonna ask you again, Venkat. I'm
Okay.
gonna ask you again.
Okay.
Are you voting for the establishment Democrat or are you gonna vote for DSA?
I gotta see their platform.
I'm showing you the platform.
No, come on, that you MD. Now you know
Now, it's gonna be fine tuned to like a district or so, but they still gonna be pushing this shit when they go to Capitol Hill. I'm telling you that now. I'm telling you that.
all these so-called DSA people may not all be in line with everything that's all on that platform that they're showing.
Venkat, if you believe that shit, man, like I always say, you know I'm a real estate agent as well.
Oh, God.
I got some prime beachfront property.
Oh my God.
On the Vegas Strip right now that I can sell to you if you want it at a discount price. If you believe that shit, look at these lefty loony people. Matter of fact, we done with this. Let me play this next video. Because like I said, ain't no sense to be talking. It's just not. You got anything else on this, Ricardo?
No, sorry, Bob.
Okay, let me play. Because like I said, Venkat want to hear this shit out the horse's mouth. So that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. Let me play this next video here.
I am a communist, and this is what I want to fight for.
As a communist who does, pro-Palestine organizing.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism.
I think we can transform DSA into a revolutionary and practical organization.
We are revolutionary socialists who believe in the working class and believe that is in desperate need of a revolution and thus needs a workers' party with an internationalist and anti-imperialist purview. And we believe that DSA is the best method to achieve this.
At the end of the day, are like, yeah, we're in DSA because we believe that DSA, whatever it is, can be the vehicle for socialism here.
I think DSA has retreated on abolition somewhat. Like 5 years ago, we had Zeron tweeting, "Queer liberation means defund the police."
The type of Trotskyism I adhere to, and I think the type of Trotskyism Trotsky actually argued, it says we recognize these problems and we defend them anyway.
We must be willing to meet the challenge of building a member-driven mass organization that can harness the revolutionary potential of the working class.
I first joined DSA at the end of 2021. So when I came to the US for grad school, I got involved in Students for Justice in Palestine. And then after I graduated, I organized in the New Haven community.
And that internationalism is key to change for us as socialism here in the United States because it helps us see what's possible.
That DSA has remained one of the only coherent poles of resistance to both fascism and capital in the United States. We are only going to build ourselves into a fighting party by ensuring that our electoral work and our independent working class organizing are working in concert and are strengthening each other.
We are fighting to dismantle these policing structures, but ultimately we have to be ready to take control of our neighborhoods, to fight for our neighbors.
If you're a cop or Zionist, stay the fuck out of DSA because those are the two criteria that we actually don't allow.
So when we say we want a vanguard party of professional revolutionary cadre, we're talking about organizers who are on the front lines of labor struggles, tenant struggles, and so on.
It is so important that as DSA we are developing organizers who can look at the conditions, figure out what exactly is the pressure point, what is that weak point that we can push on to help start breaking capitalism down. And it's working.
Okay, so you may ask yourself,
It's a no for me.
Well, you may ask yourself, well, MD, these just a bunch of whole people babbling. Well, you're correct. They babbling.
They on StreamYard.
You're correct. This was the video. Now, you may ask, where did this video come from? This was the introductory video that they played when they did the DSA platform reveal. They live streamed the whole fucking thing.
Oh, well.
So it ain't just like me just getting a whole bunch of shit. This is their video that they played as the introduction to reveal the policy platform for 2026. So I don't know what else you want me to do.
They act well. First of all, some of them. Then I couldn't tell if they were a man or a woman. The other thing
you had a couple of trannies in there. You did.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like we don't allow cops and somebody. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so why are we profiling on them? That's no better than what's been happening. It doesn't make sense to have, and again, it might not even be the platform. There's so many people, they're just proclaiming a platform.
Nope. Can't let you do that. Can't let you do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you're incorrect. I have the source of the video. I can link it to you.
Yeah.
Where when they did a whole reveal of their policy platform. Matter of fact, I already linked it. I linked it in the group chat. Maybe a few days ago, or maybe last week. It was one. They had a star-studded cast. Different people were joining the live stream. They had Emma Vigeland on there. They had Anna Kasparian on there. Many other streamers. It don't matter what you say, Van Cat. I'm still telling you. So no, you're incorrect. Is what I'm telling. It ain't just a bunch of humbugs.
No, but what I'm saying is the guy was just talking and saying we don't allow cops. If I'm a cop, which is a working class person as well, that just makes a certain salary. It's like they're not a billionaire. Obviously,
you gotta follow context. We just literally saw on, and it's still up on the policy platform placard that they want to get rid of the police state.
I understand that. But okay, what I'm saying is like it's like an all or nothing mentality. There are aspects and elements that people are all for. They're not about all that extra stuff. And the extra stuff could be the Palestine stuff and all that foreign policy garbage and all the getting rid of the Senate and these weird things. But they may agree with the policies that are better to improve the life of workers and worker protection and worker pay and stuff like that.
So how do you get rid of the other stuff then?
You weed them out. You weed them out by the primary process because they got to go up against somebody. They got to go up against somebody that is
the establishment Democrat.
No, and that's the thing. Why is that the only choice when multiple people?
Because that's where the money at, and I'm going with where the money at. And if they going against DSA, that's who I'm voting for. AIPAC all day.
I don't know, man. I just think that you can have your DSA person, and then you got to hear them out for what they want or what they're saying. But then there's other people that are progressive, that are looking for policies like myself that actually benefit the American working class folks. That is the now. See, these guys, they wrap themselves and they're co-opting the progressive movement because they know that a lot of people agree. Most people agree with the progressive policies.
Jump in there, Ricardo. Jump in there.
Yeah, but here's where I have a problem with them now with this, because then they included the working class designation to it, which is a very dangerous thing to do. When you put in
bullshit.
I didn't
because it ain't it's not the working class that's vying for this shit. I tell you, you know who it is? You know who it is, Ricardo? It's middle fucking management. They for the middle management. That's who the fuck they. The middle management class. That's who they fucking right for.
But in a primary, you can have your establishment, you can have your DSA, but you can also have those other candidates that can appeal without the extra crap. And this is another dangerous thing about this, because we're conflating and mixing what is meant to be progressive with this DSA stuff. And now
you said Bill Maher was some bullshit. Bill Maher and Van Jones just said the same, but they just said the same thing you just said.
Bill Maher is not saying the same thing I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Bill Maher
said he did not have a problem with progressives. He said he got a problem with communists. That's literally what he said.
No, what he has a problem with is him with his agenda with Israel. And
What
he
about Van
sees
Jones?
Van Jones is a dumbass. Van Jones has been pissing me off. I don't even want to get into Van Jones has been pissing me off as of recently. And he said some dubious things.
Listen,
But finish
you
up,
can't-
Ricardo.
You can't blame Van Jones for getting some coochie from Kim Kardashian and then changing his stance. You know what I mean? She could manipulate, but that's a whole other conversation to be had. My thing with them is this whole working class. That why put in that designation? Because it sounded weird. That was like a red flag to me. Like I don't know why that was even included to begin with. But then
You know why? You know why? I got to stop you right there, Ricardo. You know why? Because that's the term that Lenin used.
Yes.
Working class. Lenin ain't lift a hammer in his fucking life, but he used it. Neither did none of these people.
But you see,
middle management.
But you see, the problem with that now, MD, and this is why I'm trying to make Van Cat open his eyes to see this clearly. The perception of all of this in the periphery of it is kind of very alarming because now they're conflating everything and they're putting it under the big tent of the Democratic Party. We cannot have that, Van Cat. We just can't. Because now what they're going to do is and let's just say and God forbid it happens, knock on wood, it doesn't. But let's say these loonies come in and then they go, oh, we're going to do such and such. Who's to say they don't come in and do, and if you want to do it in a way where you're saying like how the Republicans do it now, where they're like, all these people came in and they're doing the bidding for Trump. Who's to say they come in and say they're pushing it for the agenda of the progressives and push a whole we can't have that, Van Cat.
Exactly.
There's no.
Let me stop you right there, Ricardo, and I'm gonna let you finish. Because you just made a great point. Now listen, we could talk this shit all day long. The fact of the matter is, at least 3. I'm saying it's gonna be more congressmen gonna be in the new Congress in 2020.
I agree too.
That are DSA.
Yes.
Then once we get back to House, then we got to set legislative lines, right? We got to start passing shit.
Yeah.
Doing committee hearings, this, that, and the third.
Yep.
These goddamn lefty loaded. You talk about Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. What the fuck you think they gonna do when it's time for the Israel shit, and then it get voted down? What you think gonna happen, Van Cat? Because it's gonna get voted down.
Yep.
And then they say, look, I ain't voting on shit. I'm gonna vote present, or I'm gonna just say no to the bill at all. Whatever the hell you Democrats are doing.
That infuriates me.
But go ahead, Ricardo.
But it's funny though because MD, like the thing that kills me is just like when they were passing, they were about that bill they were gonna pass, which was so funny to me when they were like, oh, we're gonna get rid of dual citizenship. Damn well that wasn't gonna go anywhere because there's a lot of people that are from Israel that have dual citizenship. So if you give up one, you got to give up the other. But that's the hypocrisy of the whole thing. But I digress. The group now, when I'm talking about with this DSA group and all that, because I think MD showed a video. I can't remember what I was watching, but I just so happened to click on it when it was a live telecast, I think, with them. I don't know if it was a group of them or something. And they were asking, the reporter was asking them questions, and it was just the way they were conducting themselves. And I'm saying to myself, but you're saying you're a Democrat, but really you don't want to include yourself with the Democratic Party, but you're just going to be there for the sake of just being there because
they want the resources.
There we go. They want the money. And I think he literally said that out loud. And I'm saying to myself, why on earth if you're pushing an agenda, whatnot, why would you then say, we just need the funds, but then we're going to try to manipulate? There's no way that's going to work because at the same time,
MAGA did the same shit.
Yes,
MAGA did the exact same thing.
And now we're having a split with them because now there's 2 MAGAs now, I believe. There was always going to be 2. But I believe you have the ones that were led to believe the nonsense and the other ones that are beginning to be awakened by saying to themselves, wait a minute, this is all bull. None of this makes sense. So it's the same thing where now you're going to, the deviation of the Democratic Party, I don't know what to call the Democratic Party anymore because I've always had this issue with them. They just seem to be so confusing at times. When you're pushing an agenda for whatever the cause is or whatever it is, you put it into one thing, but then you have the progressives. I don't know if the progressives are Democrats anymore. I don't know if the old school Pelosi's, even because she's not in the party anymore, but you have the old school sets of people that are there, the old heads, or the dinosaurs, if you want to call them that are on the other side. But I'm like, the clash is there, and it's always been a clash. But the problem now is these idiots that are coming and call the DSAs, they're the other side too, that are coming in there and saying, oh, but we don't want nothing to do with the Democratic Party, but all we want is the money. Once we get the money in, we can manipulate, go in and change the bills and blah, blah. We don't want people like these on the committees that we have. We went to the Marjorie Taylor Greens when we had the maggots. We don't want these people, which we don't know their whole agenda, to come in now and then try to, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, this is lunacy. I don't know if I could even take the Democratic Party serious. And this is my problem, Venkat. I want you to see it from my periphery. When we come to midterms in November, we don't got time for the foolishness of, now you're going to confuse the people that are going to be voting, because we don't know if they're going to be aligned with the Democratic Party, or they're just going to be coming in for the sake of trying to be under the big tent, but then deviate after. We can't go through that again, Venkat. There's no way that's going to work. Checks and balances. We got to go through that. But with these morons, and what they're trying to make Israel, make Palestine and Jerusalem, and this has nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with anything. And none of these bills and initiatives that they're trying to push when they come into power is going to work anyway. So it's kind of like a catch-22. So what are we doing? Kick them out from now. Like, I don't understand why Bernie even decided to hop on that train of like, oh, I'm going to push.
I gotta hear from Bernie. And
Mandani is just as bad.
That's the X factor. That's the X factor.
And Mandani is just as bad. I was so disappointed with him too, because I'm like, it's one thing to bring him in, but it's another thing where he's that, and don't put it past him, Venkat. He's powerful because he have 4 people that he's already got into power.
Exactly.
Who else are you gonna, like, this influence is there that he's the mayor of the largest city in the entire United States. New York City as well. Close to what, 14 million people?
New York City isn't larger than
It is Venkat.
New York City is the largest city in the
largest
country,
city in the U.S. It's always been, Venkat. It's always, that's where everybody goes when they come here in the U.S. When they come into the United States, they want to go to New York first. It's always, that's why we have Statue of Liberty.
Right. And to Venkat's point, he said he got to hear from Bernie. That's how I know you're not politically in tune.
No, I want to hear what Bernie has to say.
Bernie has been and has endorsed all of these people.
No, not all of them, man.
Bullshit.
Not all of them, man.
He has, he literally is like.
I want to hear Bernie in a sit-down interview talk about some of these political stances and policies, because I don't understand the Bernie Sanders that I know. I don't understand some of the other stuff. Has Bernie ever talked about abolishing the Senate? That's what I'm saying. This stuff feels like it's out of left field.
It don't matter what he done talked about. It's about who he endorsed. He endorsed these people.
It's probably a political reason why.
Oh my
God. I would really like to. I would really like to hear an actual sit down interview with Bernie.
Every once in a while, Venkat, you got to come off your meme throne.
Oh, come on!
And you gotta catch up on some actual news, my man.
No,
because this is known already.
No, man, he hasn't had an interview explaining.
In a lot of ways, you could say by way of Bernie, all of this shit is happening. That's I know it may upset you. I think I just heard a clap of thunder as we speak. I know it upset it, but it's just a fact. Sorry. I mean, I get your sacrifice later on as you meme away in the group chat. But it's just true. It's just true. This is Bernie's war. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's his war. Because he know he old as hell. He ain't got that much time left. He don't got that much time left. And he'll see all his premonitions and past virtues of achievement go through these young DSA people. That's just a fact.
What about AOC?
See, I'm glad you mentioned her. I think AOC, I think she's in a state of mental turmoil, and I'm gonna tell you why. throughout the years, I've seen AOC mature as a
Yes, she
politician.
has. Yes, she has.
That's just a fact. Now she did some bullshit last week when she went to Memphis to campaign for that guy Pearson. You know, the Tennessee. What do they call him? The Tennessee 2? The people that was in the Tennessee House when they were doing the redistricting.
Yes.
She went to Memphis to campaign. She switched up. Man, I should have downloaded that video. She switched up her voice to have like a southern type voice.
Hell no, not the juking and jiving nonsense.
I was like, what the fuck is I was like, it was so
real.
funny.
That's not real, man.
You're
That's
right.
crazy.
But in a way, it's being a politician, because what do politicians do? They pander to people.
Yeah.
She damn sure pandered. Not Ricardo, like you said, she was shucking and jiving.
Oh,
I'm like, what? I was like, what the fuck is this? But I got to be honest. I have seen AOC grow as a politician. AOC came into Congress, essentially DSA. That's just a fact. But once she got on Capitol Hill, she said, "Oh, I can't move the same way I did in New York."
No, that's not what happened, MD. What happened is she clashed with Pelosi and the dinosaurs. And they
G-checked our ass.
Yeah, and they had to put them in check. She and Oman, I think it's Omar or whatever her name was, from up north.
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar came in the next Congress, though, right?
Right.
I believe. That's when the whole squad and all that shit came.
Right.
In the next
And
Congress.
they all came and talked about, we're going to change up stuff and we're going to be the new school.
Pelosi G-checked her. Yeah,
and
she was like, hell nah.
And Pelosi was like, who the hell y'all talking to? Like, we were here before y'all. You gonna fall in line or we gonna put you in line. And basically when she did that, it created a clash, but they all fell in line because remember they had to do that vote and whatnot, and they all decided to vote together. So
I agree with you, but still, that I don't take away from her maturing as a politician.
No, she has, and she has
Yeah.
matured because of the whole when they had the July 6th foolishness. When they stormed Capitol Hill. So I felt like she changed during that. whole
January 6th.
Yeah, sorry, I said July. January the 6th is when that happened. When she went through that ordeal, I think she had to mature a little bit. So she kind of got the sense of what it was like. And she was like, oh, hell nah. So
she acted accordingly.
She changed. Yeah, she changed a lot.
She acted accordingly. But I don't know what would happen when she like boasted her numbers in the I don't know. But I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that on AOC right now. Go ahead.
What about Elizabeth Warren? That's my main person.
Elizabeth Warren is another person that has endorsed a lot.
You gonna leave Pocahontas alone? Leave her alone, damn it.
She just endorsed Syed in Michigan. So she's another one. But and again, she got one foot in the grave too. So she like, they passing the agenda on to the next generation. Which I mean, you're supposed to do anyway. And it ain't nothing inherently wrong with that. But at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is, and call it for what you will. That ain't my argument. The fact that we just gonna like wave this off and brush this away as if it's like not a thing is my issue. And it's a lot of people doing that right now. And I think they're being disingenuous based on the fact that we saw this exact same thing happen to the Republicans. Like, again, that's not to say that we shouldn't be fighting the Republicans right now. We should. But we shouldn't have to fight lefty loonies at the same damn time. Shouldn't have to do it.
I don't think that they're going to make, because progressives in large have gotten a lot of blame without any of the power. The way that this is being presented is if there's going to be sweeping DSA people coming into Congress and the Senate this November, and I don't
to
see
think
that.
They can't be a disruption is also.
I don't care about the disruption. The Democrats earned that.
What do you mean you don't care about the disruption?
I don't care. They shouldn't be in this situation now. It's their doing. They wouldn't have a platform to be able to make that approach to the American people now.
So you telling me
if
you
the
don't have an
Democrats
issue?
were on their game.
You don't have an issue with Democrats, with DSA in Congress blocking legislation that only needed a couple of more votes because of Palestine. You ain't got a problem with that.
you are talking about a future scenario that is not existing right now. I'm talking.
We got at least 4 people that are surefire going to be in Congress next year. Surefire. It's 3 alone in New York. 3 alone. Ain't no fucking Republican winning them seats. They already won the primary. So we got at least 3 in New York. The other one is and by the way, she fine as hell. That East African lady in
sir.
in
She hella
Denver.
fine.
I think Black Kiros. That's 4 right there.
Yes, sir.
So you got at least 4 seats that ain't gonna move if Palestine ain't on the table. I'm telling you that right now. They're not gonna move. I don't give a fuck what's going on. So you telling me you okay with that and Democrats deserve that?
But you're okay with that because you're against mob rule, and you love the fact that a minority is able to steer the ship in a completely different direction. You're okay with that?
I'm against mob rule because I'm pro-American.
Oh,
I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Stop it! No, man. I'm just saying. I'm not worried about these guys. And again, the dilemma is really 2 fronts. It's establishment Democrats that are worried, and it's Republicans that are happy and trying to push it more.
Yeah, they trying. Why are they trying to push it though?
Because they want that to be a sore spot for them. So it's become an issue.
Look at the states. First of all, these are true blue states.
Yeah,
we're talking about New York. We're talking about Colorado, possibly Michigan with the Senate seat. Michigan is a swing state, but again, I don't really count that as such, right? In terms of like the concentration of people where they at. I should have got this video too. In Michigan, and Fox News played it. Everybody played this video showing the rat, and Bernie Sanders was there. Matter of fact, Bernie Sanders introduced Abdul Al-Sayed at the rally in Detroit, Michigan, of all fucking places. Detroit, Michigan, by concentration, is the blackest city in America. Per capita. 75% black. It wasn't a nigga in the house back there. How are you in Detroit, Michigan? How are you in Motown? And it's not a Negro in the building. Clyburn, and I don't even like Fish Fry Cly. I don't even like him.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Fish Fry Cly said, how the hell you gonna have a rally in Detroit, Michigan, and ain't a black person in sight?
And coming out with a full arsenal tonight.
He said that told me everything I need to know about DSA, and unfortunately he's right. Where the black folks at? And I'm talking about the actual black folks back there. And when I say again, I ain't taking no shots. I ain't FBA. I ain't none of that shit. But what I'm saying is, even in the video that I just played, they had the black guy with the pride flag in the back. That's a weirdo. I'm talking about actual black people.
MD is on a roll tonight.
Where are they at in within the quote unquote progressive movement? Where they at?
But you see,
because those are the actual people that's breaking their back in the workforce. Where they at?
Yeah.
Well, you see,
now, I ain't talking about middle management Negroes.
Go
ahead, Ricardo.
No, I was gonna say, this was the problem too, because now remember the LGBTQ NMNP crew was like saying they, we're like the black people, we're just the same, it's the same experience. So now they conflate and put everybody, I'm assuming everybody in DSA is almost the same, because now you have the LGBTQ NMNP crew, and then you have everybody else tangled up into the socialism aspect of it, and then it's too much. I don't know where it now, because then you see this is the same argument I have. Representation matters, but how are you gonna appeal to the mass black vote when you don't have nobody black in the crowd? Like, that's a little bit of a that don't make sense. And then again, the arm of the Democratic Party, isn't it mostly the black woman vote is the most significant.
The backbone, Ricardo, the backbone.
Right, the backbone. is the black woman vote. So why are we not seeing them in the crowd either? Like this is where
and this the crazy part about it, Ricardo.
that's just crazy.
You talk about middle management. Don't nobody represent middle management like black women. They are fucking middle management.
Hella facts.
And this is the problem that I'm talking about. See, when you deal with liberalism, and I said this in my video a couple days ago, I'm a liberal Democrat, but I also understand that liberalism is a ever growing, ever evolving fight, right? It's always about the person on the bottom of the fucking totem pole. Liberals fight for that person on the bottom of the totem pole. Then when they get another stack up or two, then it becomes a different fight altogether outside of the realm of being liberal. Liberalism, all liberalism means from the social standpoint is equal protection under the law. Everybody that's a United States citizen deserves an equal fucking shot. That's literally all it means. But what happens when you ascend that equality? With a lot of the programs that Democrats put in place, like DEI and all that shit. And again, I'm all for equality. I'm not for over-targeting that equality, if that makes sense. With black women in particular, it was over-targeting. With a lot of DEI programs and the advent of damn, I lost my what the fuck was it called? Affirmative action and so on and so forth. A lot of disenfranchised groups ascended into that middle management. Now what we seeing, a lot of the H-1B immigrants and all that shit, they got a head start.
Talk about they built this country and all this nonsense that means no
your boy
sense.
Mom Donnie said that dumb shit. They came in as middle management, Ricardo. So they like, hey, look, in our eyes, y'all supposed to be a liberal democracy and all this shit, this, that, and the third. I want more than middle management. These are the people that you see in DSA. It ain't the people that's actually building this fucking country. This is middleman. These are a whole bunch of coders and motherfuckers that work in all. Where is the actual working class people at? The real working class people? Because it ain't them. It ain't them. Last I checked, the unions are still backing the quote unquote establishment. Why? Because the union has built a mass of lobbyist wealth over the decades. That's fucking why. Money what make the fucking world go round. But these people don't want to play by them rules. They want to take everybody else's money. I'm being real.
And forget about black pussy power. Like, no, we're not going to do it. We down for BPP, man. We're sorry. We're not going to ignore BPP here. We're not going to do it.
y'all don't go into the dirt like I go into the dirt. Vancat made a comment the other day when I was putting some stuff in the group chat, telling me to stay off Elon Musk TV and all this shit.
Yep.
See, the only way that you can like get what's really going on, you got to get in the dirt. See, Vancat not willing to get in the dirt like I am.
I'm telling you to stay off for two reasons. One, I can't hear nothing on Twitter. It's just videos with no audio. And two, I'm not supporting Elon's platform.
Yeah, because you're the meme god. Meme god, you don't talk through or hear through regular media. The memes speak for themselves. So that's what's going on with that. But on Twitter, the amount of racism and anti-blackness that I done seen, not coming from MAGA maniacs, coming from lefty loonies, has been unfathomable the last couple of weeks. I just got to be honest. If you think these DSA motherfuckers are not anti-black, I don't give a damn what weirdo black people they got in their organization. Everybody got token Negroes. Everybody.
Facts.
The amount of anti-blackness that I done heard coming from these people saying that we playing identity politics. You know it's bad when the lefty loonies say we playing identity politics. You know it's bad. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all supposed to be the progressives. Y'all supposed to be the number one advocates for equality for everybody. But it's not about equality for everybody with DSA. It's about class warfare. They don't give a fuck about your race or your circumstance in this country. They don't give a shit. They gonna get you Medicare for all and affordable, because they want your ass to be well fed, well clothed, and well maintained, so you can keep working. Because they middle management, and they're gonna be over your black ass. That's what's really going on. No more or less, just like the like Lenin said during Soviet Russia. Same shit. Lenin wasn't no fucking worker, but he was gonna oversee your Slavic ass. That's for a fact. Until you die.
But you see, it's sounding similar like how they did the whole sanctuary city things when earlier in the whole Biden administration, where they were like, we're gonna take all these people in, and then the message started to be painted like the crime went up and all this stuff. It's the same exact playbook. But my thing now is with this is that the messaging is crazy, because if you're gonna deviate and not include black, again, you can't ignore Black Pussy Power here, because they've always been a part of the whole, the backbone of the Democratic Party. You can't ignore the black men voting either, because now you find them they're finding themselves being pushed towards voting for Trump and the rest of them. So then now, are you just gonna say you're just gonna go for the Latino? Because based on what MD is just saying, and he does have a valid point, they don't care about your they're just clear about the main objective is to get classes. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm having an issue with is representation matters. So when you start saying you don't need me anymore, then I'm not going to be voting for you. So then where do you then want me? You can't get mad at me when black men stop voting. You can't get mad when black women stop voting. You sure as hell can't get mad when the rest stop. You know what I'm saying? Because then now you're going to say, oh, but the Asians are over here. And then you have to include, well, who are the Asians? Is it the Indian? Is it the Japanese?
Middle management.
It's crazy.
Management.
We're deviating, and we're deviating too far, my dear Democratic Party. I need y'all to get back into the center of things and figure out where you're all going, because right now this is not looking good. Not from the angle from where me and MD is looking from, and I'm sure as hell hoping that Van can't see from our periphery, because this is a wake up call. We only have a couple of months to go for November. I've never been more shocked in my life to see what it's going to be. This is crazy.
They got a word for it, Ricardo and Venkat. They call it champagne socialism. You got all these well-to-do in their country, upper class elites that come to this country or either first generation were born here. These people didn't come from no squalor or no shit like that. These were well-to-do immigrants that came here, like Hassan Piker and all these people. Ain't got shit else to do. Like I said, you got to understand, we live in the age of enlightenment. Political prophets usually are born within these time periods. Because I was sitting here to fight shit like this. That's my sole purpose on earth, is to fight the tyranny of the collective. But you also got the collective that were born in these age of. We live in a technological age, Ricardo, where information is at our fingertips, and people that already got money, all they do is disseminate information all fucking day long, and they become enlightened, either good or bad. It really don't matter. Well, they got all day to come up with the shit, and now we got this whole thing where they talking about workers' rights, and the government should be the one providing your health care, and you should have a government house, and all this type of crazy shit. But these people ain't come from none of this shit. But again, it's everything. It ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing fucking new under the sun. All of these concepts happened long ago by essentially the same people, not the workers, the actual workers, middle fucking management. That's just a fact. You talk about Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, what did he tell you on the Breakfast Club? We ain't concerned with reparations. We worried about economic equality for everybody. That is your reparations, nigga.
Yeah, that's a horrible answer.
Yeah, that was really bad optics back then when he said it.
They telling you what's going on. A call. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you're clear.
Okay. Yeah, they telling you what's going on. So like this, they don't care about the specific circumstances of specific people. They do not care. That's just a fact. That's probably the main reason why I can't go with him. Like I said, we can argue about policy all day. That's something that can be discussed. But when you try to take my identity away from me, like in my own fucking country, and you just got here last week, nah, I can't do that. I can't do it. Hell no. You crazy as hell. You got the right on one side want to erase your history. You got the left on the other side just just want to be devoid of it. You see what I'm saying? All this shit is mirror images of each other. I can't do it. If you go say one thing about Trump and MAGA and not say something about the other side, when the correlation is like clear as day, nah, hell no. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, throw me in the ditch. That's a fact. That is a fact. But let me play this next video. Now, can y'all still hear me? My son texting me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me play the next video. Like I said, I got a couple of videos left, and cause I gotta go to sleep. So over the weekend, they had a DNC affiliated event in DC. Now, remember I said DNC affiliated, meaning the Democratic National Committee. They had an event called the College Democrats of America. It was a youth event. Now, since I've perused in Democratic spaces now, I don't know if y'all know who Destiny is. Y'all know that white guy? Y'all ever heard of him?
No.
So it's this guy called Destiny. He's a streamer, right? He a political streamer, a liberal political streamer. He went to this event. Come to find out, you damn sure know who Hassan is. Like he been all over the news.
Yep.
He was at the event.
Well, I knew him before the news.
Yeah, from the Young Turks.
Yep.
Let me play this video, and then I'm gonna play a video that's gonna complement this, and I'll see y'all on the other side.
Here, give me a second. Studying social history, and last year was.
Are you guys selling those shirts?
Yes, we are.
Nice.
Climb over there then. Yeah, and I deliver like adhesives and like. Are you Destiny? Yeah. We're not letting you in. Well, yeah, I got the national competition. We're not letting you in because we're worried about talking to DC. So I've been to DC like every year. We're worried you're going to yell or some shit towards us on, and we're not gonna. I'm sorry. No, it's my first time at like convention. Am I gonna get a refund for my tickets? Yes, we can give you a refund. I'm sorry. How can I not get into the college? We're telling you we're not gonna get it. We're telling you you're not gonna get it. For a guy who doesn't support the Democratic Party or whatever has priority over. I'm not engaging in this conversation. Okay, I understand. Is there anybody ahead of you or anybody above you that I can chat with? Sure. I am the national vice president. Okay. Of the College Democrats of America. Yeah, but she trusts me with everything, so yeah. Love it. Security. Okay. Security. We can pop out, Okay. You can please walk out of the building.
So unnecessary, bro.
This isn't. Look, we're gonna walk.
No, good job. You did it. Thank you.
Well, you're not following rules. You're making your own. Be clear.
That's fine.
Right? Oh.
Okay, before I play the next video, let me give further context because you might not understand what's going on. So the dude Destiny and a couple of other streamers. Now Destiny is just as big as Hassan Piker. He's a liberal. Destiny is of course a lefty loony. I mean not Destiny, but Hassan is a lefty loony. Notice the dude that was at the check-in table had the Palestine thing over his shoulder. I'll take note of that. Destiny and all the other people were trying to check in to get into the convention center. You seen the dude was on his phone texting. Apparently, what was being said that he was texting.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. I
Hello?
can hear you.
So what is VanCat doing?
VanCat, you can't hear us?
So let me continue. So you saw the dude was on his phone texting. What's being said is that he was on his phone texting Hassan and said, hey, look, the guy Destiny is here. What do you want me to do? Now, this is what they said outside. The dude showed him his phone. Again, Hassan is not part of this organization, nor is he a part of the DNC.
So why is he being called?
Let me finish. The dude, again, this is alleged. This is what Destiny and some of the other streamers are saying. They said the dude showed him his phone and everything. Said the guy showed him the text where he was texting Hassan. Said, hey, the guy Destiny is here. What you want me to do? And with Hassan or somebody associated with Hassan, say, don't let him in the building. And you saw what happened. He said, we can't let you in, and he called security.
That's ridiculous.
Now, to Van Cat's point, Van Cat wants you to believe that this shit is a nothing burger. Like it is minuscule. I just showed you a DNC
comparison to what we're dealing with.
Listen what I'm saying, Van Cat, because again, you're deflecting again.
Okay.
The College Democrats of America is associated in conjunction with the DNC. That's a pretty big deal. Yet the national vice chair, that's what he said he was, correct?
Yeah.
The national vice chair with the Palestinian thing on his shoulders and everything apparently wouldn't left a liberal commentator into the building because Hassan, the lefty loony, didn't want him so. You tell me what that is, if not an infiltration.
That sounds like Bernie Sanders in the 2016 election.
The deflections here, Van Cat,
I'm just saying, it just sounds like what
the deflections
Bernie went
here are insane. Well, at least the people that got Bernie the fuck up out of there were actually Democrats, and they fucking establishment, quote unquote. At the very least, this is not. If this is not, I'm just going based off definition.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan Piker in no way, shape, or form is affiliated with the DNC.
Right.
That guy that was at the table is.
But that's alleged, though.
What you mean? What's alleged? That he ain't affiliated?
No, that Hassan Piker was even a part of it.
Okay, I give you that. That was alleged. But like
we
I said,
don't know that as concrete. Yeah.
I give you that. But according to the on-hand account of Destiny, the person that was being kicked out,
yes,
he said they went outside. The guy came outside and said, look, showed him his phone. This is what he said on the stream. I saw the video. Said the guy showed him his phone with him texting saying, Destiny's here. What should I do?
Mm.
And the response was, don't let him in the building.
Mm.
At the end of the day, I don't even really think it mattered if it was Hassan or not. I don't, again, that's why I said alleged.
Right. You're right about that because nobody should be.
Right.
It could have been a Republican trying to get in. They should get it.
Again, the fact of the matter is, this guy who is self-proclaimed liberal was not allowed in the building based on that self-proclamation. So what I'm telling you is, this is the big tent at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This is a clear infiltration of DSA and its cohorts from a policy position to silence the voices of everybody that's on the opposite side of the spectrum of the Democratic Party. That don't sound very democratic to me. It actually sounds communist. What did they call them, Ricardo? The dissenters. That's what they called them. Who were later executed. Being shot in the head.
Saddam Hussein style.
Right, yeah, the Ba'ath Party. That's what it was. Remember, he called a name. They was in the big ass auditorium.
Yep.
And he called it, he said
he called the name and then you heard the gunshot in the background.
He said, if I call your name, please exit the building. Didn't nobody know what the fuck was going on.
Yep.
Call your name, you get out and leave. Once you leave out the building, you were shot.
Yep.
So again, Anybody that don't believe that this is a thing that needs to be considered, and I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. This ain't something that was organized by DSA or Free Palestine from the river to the sea people. This was organized directly through the DNC. I got to reiterate that because it's important. Ricardo, give me your thoughts, and then I'm gonna play the next video. That's gonna go with this.
I have nothing really. I mean, you know, this is where we're at. So nothing is surprising to me.
Like I told you, Ricardo, I'm not focused on Republicans tonight. That don't mean that we should that shouldn't be the focal point of the fight. That don't mean that. But this is serious. This is definitely serious. I don't want to be one of the people as the lead auditorium.
Facts.
I don't want to be that. At this point, it's gonna be all niggas get up and go. At this point. But let me play the next video, and like I said, this is gonna complement the video that you just saw. Let me play the next video, and Vatcat, I'll ask you your thoughts.
Watch the whole video, listen to the whole segment before you send me hate mail. You know when it starts that way, it's going to be good. Listen, the Democratic Party is showing the early signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican Party. I've got so many friends on the left texting me and saying, David, we're not going to allow the same thing to happen on the left that Trump did to MAGA, that Trump and MAGA did to Republicans, are we? Republicans, back in 2010, their leaders laughed at the Tea Party. Conspiracy theorists, they're far-right internet trolls, they're not going to do anything. And then the Tea Party took over local organizations, threatened primaries, built their own media universe, and eventually were part of a process that gave us Donald Trump. The left and Democrats can't make the same mistake. There is a small group of far-left extremists gaining influence inside youth groups and party organizations because they spend all day online organizing and enforcing ideological purity and attacking anyone who disagrees. Now, let me be very clear. I am not talking about people who want Medicare for all and affordable housing. I want all that stuff. I'm with all that stuff. I'm a social democrat in the style of Northern Europe. Of course I want those things. These are folks who treat political warfare like a full-time job. And when they can't build their own coalition, they attach themselves to popular causes. They take real concerns about healthcare, housing, police misconduct, and use them to sell what is actually an authoritarian worldview. Now, there are things in DSA, for example, Democratic Socialists of America, that are good and that I agree with. But there's also some stuff in there that I think doesn't make any sense. I saw their new platform. Promises a country where you have no debt, you pay no rent, no mortgage, you receive publicly funded housing, publicly funded retirement, food, education, energy, medicine, transportation. And it sounds incredible because it is incredible. How would they create it? Government ownership of the largest corporations and of entire industries, universal rent control, abolishing police and prisons and abolishing the Senate and replacing our political system. Some of these ideas are reasonable to a degree. For example, I support universal health care, and I've talked about 4 or 5 ways that we could get to it. I want affordable housing, and I've done a dozen interviews with housing experts on what would and wouldn't work to get us there. I support progressive taxation. We need to collect more taxes from the very rich. Voting rights have been hurt in this country. We need police reform. So there's elements of this that are great, and any social democrat like me will tell you we got to do that. But you bundle it together, and this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear, most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism. My one hesitation about confronting this now, and why I went back and forth, is the midterms. Publicly exposing the rot could make moderate voters think the entire Democratic Party has been infected. But I don't think silence is really going to hide it. I saw a crazy thing from the weekend where there was a college Democrats convention, which I was actually invited to participate in, and I couldn't make it. Hassan Piker was dressed like Mao, and I guess Destiny tried to show up, and he was banned from entering allegedly because the Mao-dressed Piker didn't want him there. Republicans are going to put these clips everywhere. Like people seem crazy when they see this stuff, and they are going to abolish the police and abolish borders and abolish prisons and play them on a loop for 6 months. If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, which most of these people are, most people don't follow this sort of thing. They're busy living their lives and working and doing all this stuff. If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, I would find these images and a lot of this stuff very alarming. So as I said last week, and so many of you agreed with me, Democrats must act now and intelligently. The centrists don't really do anything, make very milquetoast fringe suggestions that you don't even really push for. Not working, okay? This other thing of like end everything, it's a sort of destructive accelerationism, that's also not gonna work. So I think that what we need here are no apologetics for dictatorship, no apologetics for authoritarianism, no harassment, no anti-Semitism, no allowing online factions to decide which liberals may enter the room. You know, what would I even have been allowed at that college Democrats thing? They invited me months ago. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't go, so we didn't find out. So we just need normal people to participate, join local committees, attend conventions, get involved with state parties, and let's turn the DNC into something that works. Many reasonable people doing a little can defeat both the centrist do-nothings and the hardcore extremists who would get nothing done. Republicans believed they were going to control the extremists. They were like, we got these people under control. The extremists took over the party. Democrats can still prevent that outcome, but we've got to get them to get things under control right now. I've said before, I've never been a Democrat. I don't care about the Democratic Party beyond who offers the better candidates, and usually it's Democrats over Republicans. But we've got to make sure that we don't allow that party, if it is the vessel, at least for now, to something better than what Republicans are offering, to be hijacked. This is about let's include, but not allow any extreme faction to take over.
Okay, so again, it took every fiber of my being, but again, I'm adjusting to being a newborn Democrat. It took every fiber in my being to watch David fucking Pakman. I hate David Pakman with a passion, But now I'm a Democrat, so I had to, swallow that throw up. And do what I got to do. Let's say Venkat joining the stage. Venkat already on the stage. What just happened?
No, I had dropped off by accident, and I just came back up.
Oh, so again.
So I missed that part that you said. You said it took every fiber of your being to
watch David Pakman.
Why?
Because Venkat, I hate David Pakman, bro. But again, I'm adjusting to my new position as a liberal Democrat.
Yep.
So I had to watch. But David Pakman was 100% correct. Well, no, he wasn't 100% correct, because some of the stuff he was saying about in terms of like a social democracy in the model of Northern Europe, that's some bullshit. Because you can't compare a little bit ass Scandinavian country with only Scandinavian people in it, no niggas, no immigrants, no nothing, to the United States of America. Like when people say that shit, it's are you listening to yourself? Like, bro, they live in a white utopia.
Yeah.
Ain't no niggas in Sweden or hey, what are that? You may got a sprinkling of them in the Netherlands. You can't compare it. A fraction of the people overall. You can't like stop it, bro. That's why when it comes to like shit like universal health care, I don't fight it no more. Partly because these people don't really know how to implement that shit. They just talking. And David Pakman was just talking. Part of the reason why I don't like it. But to any event, he was 100% correct when it comes to what the situation that we face now. David Pakman agrees with me, Venkat. David Pakman said we got a clear and present danger on the left. Clear and present danger. So he agrees with me, not you. I'm just being real. Because it's a fact. people are infiltrating the DNC at this point. And if that's something that you don't want to accept, man, like, the wool has been pulled over your eyes, my brother.
Well, first of all, I'm not trying to. I don't care about the DNC. And
how is that possible? The DNC is the infrastructure.
But they brought that to themselves.
Oh my God!
They brought this to themselves. So,
so it's their fault. But then at the same time, you want them to still fight the Republicans, right? How are they gonna do that?
But they haven't fought the Republicans. The fact that we've experienced what we've experienced the last 10 years, they haven't fought the Republicans. They sabotaged Bernie.
You still talking about Bernie Sanders?
You're damn right.
So again, the only thing that I can suggest to you at this point, Van Cat, is join DSA, man.
But why should I have? Why can't I have an alternative? I'm the one that says we should have 6 political parties.
So that's fine. Vote for the 3%er.
No, man.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, Van Cat, is all I'm saying.
Some guys come and wrap their bodies around the progressive movement and cloak an agenda around these great policies that are known to be progressive to try to give you some medicine with sugar on it. You don't have to. The option isn't corporate Democrat or somebody that is misusing or manipulating progressive policies. There's other choices, and that's why I keep saying I don't believe that it's going to be, this great hurricane of DSA people taking over Congress and blah, blah, blah. And as far as the Christian cinema and Manchin stuff, and we have disruptions, but we've been had those disruptions, and they still find ways to get around it. Do I think it's ideal, and do we want it? No. But you can't do it forever because you're going to be up for re-election, and then it's your ass. They won't get far with this. Yes, there is some concerning things and problematic aspects here, but again, would have really loved to see this same passion with what we're dealing with right now. And the Democrats, they want to cry and act all funny right now, but they have a large hand in what has happened here with the Joe Biden stuff, with the screwing over Bernie, and the disenfranchising of their own voters to the point where more people didn't vote than did vote for the two people that were up for the election in 2024. These are all DNC issues. DNC has to lie with the bed that they made, and so we'll see what happens.
And so do you. Once you have to vote for the 3%er.
Yeah.
So do you.
But I just think
you're in denial, Van Cat.
I'm not in denial.
I just got to be honest, bro. You're making all sorts of excuses to look the monster right in his face.
Yeah.
The quote unquote thought they were sensible Republicans. David Pakman just told you they did the same shit, the exact same thing, and you don't want to listen to them.
Because, again, the two parties are not the same, and I'm forever stating that.
Again, you keep going to the party. You keep going to the party and not looking outwardly. But that's what we're talking about. The parties are not the same. Again, David Pakman just said, "Hey, look, the Republican Party thought that we could corral these crazy ass Tea Party people. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? Business as usual politics with us. That did not happen. It didn't happen, Van Cat. Here we see ourselves faced with the same situation in 2026. Oh, we ain't worried about these 30 or 40 DSA lefty loonies. They crazy as hell. We ain't worried about them. The apparatus is being formed right underneath our noses, Van Cat. Even to the point where it's festered itself within the actual infrastructure of the party. Just showed you evidence of that in the video. And it's still like, if I hear you say Trump again, I'm ending the show, Van Cat. I'm ending it. Because you keep reverting back to that as if it's some type of anecdote for the here and now when it comes to these people. And it's not. It's not. This same shit will be going on right now if Kamala was president. Same exact shit. I can almost guarantee it. Because they wasn't fucking with her either.
No, they weren't. Yeah, they were.
Not knowing.
Yep.
So this isn't an issue as it comes to opposition. It's not. This is an issue as it involves with espionage, infiltration. This some James Bond shit.
So then the voters should see what's going on here, and they should vote accordingly. The only problem is these voters are historically uninformed, and so we got that to go on. But I'm at a point because of the craziness that's happened that we've experienced the last 10 to 20 years. I'm at a point right now where I'm like, I don't fear any of that stuff, and certain things need to happen. It's a process we have to go through. And
just let the shit burn. It's basically what you're saying.
It's not let it burn, but you can't do stuff that create fire and then be like, oh my God, there's a fire. That's what I'm saying. There's a consequence to everything. So I just look at it differently. And it would be a good thing that, let's say, this imminent threat that you guys are seeing actually gets on the ballot, comes, and then the voters rebuke it. That's one thing. So let the process play out and see where it goes. Yeah, the conversations we're having right now is important because that helps to inform, to give context of what's going on, and it makes people talk, and that's a good thing. But I'm not going to worry about it because, again, one is will be, the other is here already. And that failure happened, and to ignore the failure that had happened versus the maybe failure that may be coming. No, I'm dealing with what we have right now, and I'm not giving them a pass by no means. When it's time to vote, if one of them is in my voter on my sheet, I'll make the decisions accordingly. But I'm just saying that process has to happen, and I'm not the fear. It feels like a lot of fear mongering. If anybody can come up with any platform or policy or anything, and it's up to you to slap them down. No big deal. No.
I just feel like you diminishing like what the actual situation is.
Well, welcome to my world when I felt the clear present danger that we are experiencing when that was coming, and I felt like everybody diminished it from you're paying too much attention to this, and you're doing. And we're just brushing things off. A big scandal happened or a big policy issue happened, and it's talked about for that day, and then it's swept under the rug. This is who we are. At the end of the day,
I was right beside you fighting that battle, Vancat.
I'm not pointing at you.
Know that. Yeah,
I
ain't saying you saying me, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to look at it from your perspective, right?
Yes.
Because I was right there saying, hey, look, I'm a 2-time Trump, and I'm gonna let Ricardo go after this. Yes. I'm a 2-time Trump voter. Take it from me. I was right there with you. What I'm telling you is, you got to look at it from the perspective of the actual people. Basically, what you're trying to say, and I always come to this, and I don't understand why, but it's like you almost afraid to say it. Essentially, what you're saying is people are dumb as hell, which again, I agree with. I agree with it every time you try to say it, to the point where I'm the one that has to say it for you because it's true. But when we put in the inclination of what people expect versus what people are saying, that's the issue. I can make that same argument from MAGA all the way to lefty loonies. With MAGA, it was, Trump say crazy shit. He was just joking. He didn't really mean that the Haitians was eating the cats and dogs. All I know is my grocery bill is high as hell. That same, you yourself, Van Cat, is making that same assumption on the left-hand side. Yeah, they said some crazy shit.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm exhausted and tired of Americans not taking accountability for their own vote and for the direction the country goes. And how much more time are we going to waste? Because that's really the game plan of the rich and powerful, is to get politicians in office that doesn't necessarily move or change things much. So with Donald Trump in those 10 years, he really hasn't accomplished anything. We've went backwards, then some stuff he's done has been overturned. We went forward, backward, forward, but we're still in the same circle. It's no real progress. You could even point out that we probably went backwards more with all the rights that we lost under Trump's reign. So we've had that for so long, for so much time. I'm not waiting for Superman to save me. I'm waiting for the people to make a stand now. So I'm ready to see what's going to happen during this election. People are pissed off and annoyed and just mad right now. And they've had their SNAP benefits taken. They've had their job taken away from them. They've had all these things change under Trump's administration. And it's in your face. He's even come out on TV and said, I don't care about the plight or the struggle of the average American people. I'm thinking about Iran and blah, blah, blah. He went on national TV and said that. So with all this stuff that's here, if the United States voters decide to continue on with that path, I'm just not there no more with man, I gotta be this way, I gotta be that way, I gotta stop this, why? What's gonna be, it needs to be. So if it takes a bad turn, that's a bad turn we obviously need to go through. Yes.
If he dies, he dies. That in a nutshell, that's what.
Yep.
That's what he said.
Yep.
Ricardo, go ahead. Before you go, Ricardo, I got the picture up. This was Hassan at the College Democrat event. He got some type of outfit on where he looked like Donnie Yen starring Yip Man.
Ip Man. Ip Man. I remember.
Bro, if this shit is not blatant, come on, what are we doing? See, and this is what I'm saying, Van Cat. It just seemed like deflection. This dude literally up here looking like the Khmer Rouge. And we just don't supposed to say shit about it.
But why is Hassan Piker having all this power and influence? And tell me. I feel like Hassan Piker is like a lot of these goofy ass people on the right that are just on it. He doesn't hold a position in office. He just commentates on politics.
He's the left wing Charlie Kirk, man.
Charlie Kirk or that other guy, that guy that always trolling people at Fuentes.
Jake Lane. Oh, Fuentes. No, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I see, and I don't know. For some younger people, maybe he means more than what I see. But that guy is he was a third-rate guy on Young Turks, and it's because his uncle.
He wasn't a third rate. Yeah, he was a fucking nepo baby. That's
right. That's what I'm saying, because his uncle ran the damn thing. So, and he would say things that I would.
His parents are fucking millionaires.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And he acts, and you can tell he behaves and he dismisses certain things like he does come from money like that. But
he ain't never had to work a day in his life.
Yeah. But he has a voice
talking about workers' rights.
Yeah.
But again, Lenin also never worked a day in his life. Yet he led the revolution. Mao, the same fucking thing.
After this election, when we see where all the chips are falling, that's where we'll get it. There's a lot that's riding on this, because I just don't feel that these guys are going to be as significant as what's being
He's
said.
downplaying it, man. Go ahead, Ricardo. He downplaying it, man. Go ahead, man. Oh yeah, Ricardo might be up out of here.
Oh, he doing the hot pocket.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he probably done with the hot. Yeah, he probably laid out, man.
Yeah.
I think he done. Well, in any event, again, man, I the amount of downplay, man, I can't go with that, Venkat. I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. And again, it's not to shy away from what's at stake right now. Literally nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that, like, at all. Not anybody that's currently in Congress is doing that. Not anybody in opposition media is doing. Nobody's doing that. But to not be able to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, knowing what we've been through for the last 10 years, that's the dangerous part. Look, I'm gonna play this last video, and then we're gonna get the hell up out of here.
I don't know if we're not better off saying, okay, we'll take that alternative ID, bring your gas bill or your light bill or something. Because for whatever reason, this shit polls at 75%. It doesn't make, I don't think people are aware of it. I think people assume that voter fraud happened. Again, I don't even want to say if you want to say infinitesimal, I don't know if I could think of a word that would be even narrower than that. I would say that. And I don't like when we say, well, look, it's a very minor problem, but you got to admit it barely exists. And it doesn't make any sense. Having said that, we are not going to win the war against some kind of ID. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fix anything, but maybe you just go along with it and move to the next
Well,
thing.
James, let me disagree. We have voter ID in most states. Most states have voter ID. What
Right.
they're trying to do with this so-called SAVE Act is
That's
require
going on.
what they say is proof of citizenship, which is either a birth certificate, which I don't know, 25, people have a hard. I went a couple of years ago, I was going to take a trip overseas, and about 10 days ahead of time, I couldn't find, I spent 10 days trying to get my birth certificate. Or secondly, a passport, which most people don't have. And thirdly, if you talk about your birth certificate and, you didn't get to keep your maiden name, my wife let me keep mine. If you didn't get to keep your maiden name, you're in trouble. So I think you're absolutely right on voter ID, but we basically have it.
Again, if we have it, just say, okay, pass the law. I mean, I think
I don't want to pass that SAVE Act.
I never had a problem with it. I'm just saying, of all the things, if every poll shows 75 or better, say we should have some kind of an ID to vote. Some state, I don't know what it is, but shit, just quit fighting and go along with it and move to the next thing.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you, what are you going along with? With what?
Whatever the law in Louisiana is, make it the national law.
Well, I probably have no problem with that. What
Okay,
I do
but
have problem.
I'm not talking about the SAVE Act. I'm not talking about the SAVE Act at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying just adapt that. But somehow or another, it comes across that we don't want to check the eligibility of a voter, or we don't need to, because they're not going to vote if they're the dumbest thing in the world that a person here could do is illegally is try to vote. It's one vote, don't mean anything. It's the stupidest expenditure of campaign money. I don't know anybody that ever did it to buy a vote. You go to jail for 5 years for one vote. Doesn't even make any sense. It's all a stupid argument, but maybe we could just come up with a simple thing and just say, okay, we for this. Bye. Thank you. Get the hell out of this argument.
Yeah, I basically agree with that. I mean, I think, but we really have to deal with the issue better, or Democrats have to deal with the issue better.
Okay, so that was from the war room. So Al Hunt was trying to make a distinction. He was thinking that, James Carville was talking about the SAVE Act, which when I first saw this video, I thought like he was saying, just fuck it, just let them pass the SAVE Act. I'm like, no, that's some bullshit. And that's what Al Hunt was saying. Usually I agree with James Carville when it comes to political strategy. I couldn't rock with him on that. But the problem is Republicans are not going to rock with that either. What if Democrats were just to say, hey, look, we're willing to compromise, just pass a national voter ID law, and we'll let y'all have that. Republicans ain't gonna go for that shit.
But if they're passing a voter ID law, then we need to pass a way to make more people eligible or able to vote at the same time.
That's a state thing. The federal government ain't got nothing to do with that.
We need to make that a federal.
No, you can't. No, that's
we do.
That's unconstitutional, Fat Cat.
There should be a national holiday on election day.
Well, that's
to
different.
Allow people that have been working and have these odd ass shifts like I've had for many of my years of working. That's why I always vote up.
That's I thought you meant like the federal government should nationalize elections. No, that shit is illegal. But yeah, I agree with that. You could
like make it easier.
Yeah, Congress could pass a national holiday saying, hey, look, today is National Voter Registration Day or whatever the fuck. And people, I wouldn't be off work because I'm never off fucking work. But, most people would be off work to go register or have a voting day or whatever. I agree with that. That's because that ain't got nothing to do with the Constitution. That's Congress.
But that's what should happen. If they do a voter ID law, then something like that needs to go in place as well to open up more votes.
Right. Well, if they did a national voter ID, you would just be using your state ID. Like in Georgia, we got to present our ID to vote. We got to do that shit already. And like Al Hunt was saying, most states got to do that. So it ain't like, you got to go and get some type of special fucking ID. No, you just use your state ID.
Yeah.
So I mean, I agree with that. I think Democrats like, hey, because we gotta like nip this shit in the bud. Because Republicans are gonna start to get desperate, and it's Trump. He's gonna do some wild shit. They already talking about what's that? The Postmaster General talking about if you don't hand over your voter rolls, he's not gonna take your mail and some shit. Like
goodness.
They go try to do some crazy shit before these midterms. I'm telling you that now. Like, I'm talking when I say crazy, I'm talking about like some J6 style crazy shit. It's gonna pop off if Trump don't get the SAVE Act passed. That's a fact.
Well, it ain't gonna happen. Do you see the video I put where Tom Tillis?
Yeah. He broke
it down.
Yeah, he don't got the votes at all.
Yeah, there's no way. It's not the votes. They don't have the votes because of the execution. Even if they would have done this a year ago, there wasn't enough time to facilitate all the actions that are needed to make this happen.
Yeah, and that's why they trying to string. Who's that? Mark Wayne Mullen, dumbass.
Yeah,
he was talking about like what Homeland Security. I like Homeland Security ain't got shit to do with voting. Why the fuck is he even there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that Postmaster General shit, again, you're talking about illegal in all forms, man. Like you just ain't gonna pick the mail up because of mail-in ballots and all that type of shit, bro. It's gonna be some crazy shit that's happening. It's gonna be some crazy shit. I'm telling you that now. That again, it's not gonna pass. We already know that.
Yep.
Last I saw, they trying to put it in reconciliation. Now, if they can get it in reconciliation, it may pass. But I don't even think it's going to be able to do that, to be honest with you. I don't even think it's going to be able to do that. So we'll see what happens with what. But yeah, that's the show tonight, folks. I just wanted to come on and get y'all's reaction to me becoming a Democrat, man. Again, Vacat, I think your thought process in this is flawed, man. I just got to be real.
Flawed.
Yes, it's flawed, man. And the reason it's flawed because I know your track record when it comes to your thought process. if you're gonna say one thing about one group of people, and you see the exact same thing happening with another group of people, you got to stay consistent, man. You got to say, you can't say this is what it was over here, but it's not that in the same situation over there. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. I'm a pretty even keeled person. If I see the shit and I'm a new Democrat, brand spanking new, slap my ass. and I see it, you definitely should be able to see it.
I don't think certain things could happen in the Democratic Party that could happen in the Republican Party. Like Trump wouldn't run as a Democrat because he would have been shot down instantly. I just don't think that there's room for growth of that type of stuff in the Democratic Party like it is in the Republican Party. The Republican Party is uniquely a fertile breathing ground for that to happen. That's why it happened. Even though I'm annoyed with the DNC and everything else, at the end of the day, I don't think a lot can fly by. And now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on certain levels. But I don't think that the catastrophe of what happened on the right can happen the same way on the left. I don't think so.
Man, I think you got it all wrong, man.
No, November soon.
I just gave you ample examples.
I understand that, but
of the shit happening in real time.
I get what you're saying there. There's problematic stuff everywhere, and again, Democratic side has to be perfect, and all these other things to not. But the Democrats and the Republicans are not the same. These are two totally different mindsets, two totally different parties with different voters. Of course, they may share some similarities in different fringe aspects within it, but Trump ran as a Republican for a very specific reason. Because all his life he had been a Democrat, a fake-ass Democrat, because he's not a Democrat nor a Republican. He's an opportunist.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
It's whatever that week gets him paid. And that's all it was. But for all the longest period of time, he had been a Democrat. Once he's decided to run for office, he magically became a Republican because he knew it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But what you fail to factor in,
yep,
and because you're equating it to the voters,
yeah,
which is true, but you're of the belief that these voters were Republican in the first place. I'm telling you that they weren't. The reason why I'm saying that they weren't, because look at the shit that they advocated for through Trump. They didn't advocate for no traditionally conservative policy.
Right.
They didn't.
Right.
The shit that they advocate for is just as left as the people on the left.
Yeah.
So that's the issue we facing. That's what I'm saying. Remember, I said long ago, conservatism is dead. That shit don't even matter no more. These people don't want conservative policy. Well, let me say it looks conservative to us because it don't include us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the shit is really not conservative. It's socialist. It's nationalist socialism, i.e. Nazism. But it's socialism nonetheless. These people are disgruntled. They want the socialism for them, whereas the lefty loonies want socialism for the middle management. It's the same shit. It's just for different people. And that's all I'm saying. Telling you. But with that being said, man, we'll argue another day. I'm gonna let you conduct your memes and talk to us through memes.
Hey, my stuff has information in it.
Yeah. It's information in the meme. Yeah, I ain't never denied that. I was just saying that's how you speak. Your language is mean. That's what it is,
man.
But in any event, yeah, like I said, we'll be back next week for another thought box. Hopefully, I have my laptop situation figured out by the end. But Like I got it right here. It worked, but for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with my charger. I'll figure that shit out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it blew, but I'll figure it out. But with that being said, man, appreciate everybody that's gonna watch this later on. Usually that's how I work anyway. So with that, man, let me take my ass to sleep, man. Ricardo already sleep. Like I said, he got the itis from the hot pocket. So it is what it is. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Quack, quack.